Ding ding, ring ding a ding ding. Is that the right like tune and so on? Because I
Sure.
swear it
Yes.
is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
Sleigh
same.
Ride.
Yeah, but does he say my heart goes ring ding ding a ding in it?
No.
Who cares? It's Sleigh Ride.
Then what does he say, Manny?
I don't know.
That's a good question. Let me Google lyrics.
I played the instrumental version a whole bunch.
That's a good question.
Great song. I hope our stream viewers don't know that, or don't find out that Cosmo's not actually going to be on the show.
Don't worry, they'll never guess. God, why is this so hard? Ugh. I think we got a pretty cool guests' real names this week.
Yeah.
Cosmo and Skylar. They sound like a team. Like a
They
hero
are.
team. But one would have to be a dog. What is it, Cosmo? Ruff! Or something like that.
God damn it.
Why is Cosmo the dog?
Cosmo's a dog's name.
And he's not a good cat name, but whatever.
Is our stream up yet or not?
Yeah, our stream's up.
Is it? Okay.
What do you think? Like, Skylar's not a dog's name, is it? It's not even really a person.
Skylar's a really bad cat name as well, so I don't know. Maybe I should reconsider.
Really bad cat name? Are there good cat names besides idiot and stupid? And waste of my money?
Yeah,
Nah.
this is definitely a lower tier cat name. Skylar, definitely not that great. I like how I can find guides for games and it will say there is only one way out of this room, and I can successfully find another way out of the room, which is the wrong way. I don't know, my ability to be shit at things is really...
I refuse to be impressed
Hello.
unless you find... Welcome. I
Hi.
refuse to be impressed unless you find a way out that's like through the wall.
Annie can do that.
Yeah.
No.
Donkey Kong 64 can do that.
Oh,
I'll
that game
find
is
it on
great.
accident. Oh my god.
That's the best game.
Yeah, it
I
is.
still can't get over that clip.
It's so good.
Wait, which clip?
Oh,
One
Annie's
where
great.
Annie's doing the
Annie.
donkey face puzzles,
He just goes...
and he pounds that switch and the screen
Have you not
rotates.
seen that?
Oh, I think I have seen that actually.
It's me, like, crying, like, my eyes out because I just broke out of bounds on accident.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's amazing.
Yeah. There is no, I think I've seen that. You would recognize it if you have.
I like that Nez has a few of those as well. I watched one of his Super Mario Land clips the other day where he just runs straight through a block.
Yeah. He was like running and just fell through the floor.
But he did it again. That's my favorite, just to make sure that like that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I remember Runner Guy was doing 100% Ocarina of Time once, and like he's trying to blow up this wall by putting a bomb down and having the Baba hit the bomb, and instead the Baba hit Link, and Link went through the wall and fell out of bounds, and he lost like more than a minute.
I like games where you can accidentally go out of bounds. It
It's
means
Super
they're,
Mario World.
means
all
they're
the time.
really well made.
And
Dude.
64 is king of that.
I was playing Sonic Heroes one time, and I don't know, I went through the floor, and I was like, what the hell? And then I was racing Sunshine too, and when I went through Sunshine, there's that bridge where like it's near the end of the game. There's like this bridge, and I just started diving on it. I just fell through it and died. So, it's really sad.
I like when games are just like, no, yeah, I'm killing you. I'm fucking killing you for that one. So, yeah, go through the wall. But the wall's meant to be so... No, sorry, buddy.
Not this one. Like, all the DK64 videos that they post in that thread are just the greatest thing. Like, Cheese keeps finding these things. He's like, oh yeah, this whole mountain is solid except for this one tile. You can just, like, jump straight through it.
I still love that skip. You showed... Was it last week? Actually, was it Feezer? Was it last week that Donkey Kong skit?
Aw.
The swinging kick that just shoots you off into space.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh yeah, I think so.
The moon kick. And like
So good.
swimming in that game is the best.
You can swim through like any shore. It's really stupid.
You just like go up to a wall and check the camera, and the game's like, oh, that's it. You're going through there now.
What are we
I just
looking
have
at
to
on
walk
this?
around.
Sorry, go ahead.
What?
No, I was just wondering why Duckfist was putting the SRL page up on the screen.
Don't know.
Oh, because we got tweeted.
We always get tweeted because somebody's very nice.
I
Oh,
know.
it needs another tweet, doesn't it? It's a new Sunday.
Another tweet.
It's different.
Yeah,
Sunday
whoever's
from
in
the
charge of that place has really got it under control.
last-
I wonder who is.
Go on.
You
You
can
can do
erase
it.
that?
You can do it, PJ. You can finish that sentence.
No, I can't.
Abort.
I got turn around.
Get out! Get out! Get out now!
All right,
You
I'm
can't
in.
do it. You can't do it.
Now that I'm a member of Team SRL, I have to make sure that I get my one race a weekend.
Definitely.
What are you gonna race?
I'm gonna race the
Great.
Sunday sequence break.
Awesome.
Best
We
game.
need to. We have to find out. We have to figure out something to actually do for a race for the show. Like we need a bingo card or something like that for, like every time someone does a PJ voice or makes a spinner face or
That would-
Mike Uyama,
That's fantastic.
submits a run for the 5th time in a row.
It's rigged.
Someone has a
He's just gonna
record
make
3
his
weeks in a
bingo card.
row.
And then just say all of the things that he has to do in one big incoherent sentence. I like the round version of this round.
Yeah. Program 1 though, I would go with Frog 0 personally. At least you got the overdump.
This is NTSC PAL J version.
I really like playing games with the sound off when the only cue for when an enemy is about to attack is an audio cue.
Mm.
It makes things very fun for everybody.
Yeah.
I like playing with games with the sound off in general.
Me too.
So you only play games that have an 8-second soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly. So mostly I turn the sound off out of necessity.
Okay, let's just turn that off because I'm not going to kill that boss before the show's meant to start.
What are you playing?
Devil May Cry 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see some good background
We're
art.
going live in 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's what Wind Waker gets.
Go! Alright, 208 is the record. I don't know what what the chances are of beating this.
Could be pretty tough.
What week was that last week that we got the 208?
No,
No,
it was
last
Ape
week
Escape
Deadly
week.
Towers split.
No, yeah.
Oh, right.
Last week was... I can't believe we were ahead on the first split, but so behind on others.
Yeah. Well, we really lost a lot of time at death there.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
How do we not have a split for Game of the Week on that split?
I don't understand what happened there.
Because I think that was when Duckfist was playing around and he kept like,
No, when Darkness is playing around is when you're like minus 600 hours on one split.
no, because I think he left arrowed back and then we just ended or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
really
this-
don't feel like fixing it.
This guy's got a black name. How do you get a black name?
Who?
This guy, Kinomg.
You can't choose black?
Oh, if you're JTV Pro, you
Oh.
can get special color names.
No way.
Oh, special
Here I am
color.
with this shitty turquoise.
Yeah, if you ever seen Sig's name, it's like this bright magenta, and you can't normally pick it.
I just went with the worst possible color ever. The hardest one to read.
Spring green?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
fucking know it, dude.
Yeah, that is a fantastic.
Spring green is the greatest. Yes, this guy's an admin? What's that about?
Don't question it.
No. Spring green.
No,
Oh,
hold
no,
on.
now
What's
look
this
what
one?
you've done.
Yeah, the chat is always greener.
Yeah, great. Way to go, Flicky.
It's alright. Spring green
there a
is
way to filter-
fantastic.
Is there a way to filter color in your?
I think you
Your,
have to be
chat
born. I
preferences?
think you have to be born without a certain chromosome for that. I love spring green just because it's so not even close to readable. You have to highlight it if you want to be able to read it.
No, you can read it sometimes.
Spring
Okay,
green.
cutting
is
Skype in
fantastic.
30 seconds.
All right. Oh, I forgot. They can't hear Duckfist, so I just
No,
probably sounded pretty awesome.
I'm waiting for Duckfist to like insult someone, and you'd say, "Yeah, fuck that guy," and someone to be like, "Whoa, where did that come from?"
Yeah, he just whispers sweet nothings into our ears during the whole show.
Kill them all. Okay, Duckfist.
The Sunday sequence break.
You can tell us about your ant story in a minute. We got a show to do, damn it. Welcome everyone to the Sunday Sequence Break. It's episode 17. It's the 24th of June, 2012. We're doing Wind Waker with Cosmo. And
Hi.
yes! Annie?
Hello.
Yeah, and Cosmo.
So,
You can, yeah, there you go. You can say it again. I sort of spoke over you, which is, you know, normal. Where is this? Oh yeah, yeah. This is how I do it. My name is Flicky, as per usual. We have PJ over there.
Hello?
Hello, yeah. Do you want to say it a bit louder than that?
No.
No? Alright, okay. Fiesel's over there. Hang on.
Hello, everyone.
There's Fiesel. And we got Duckfist doing all the visuals and all of that. That is some cool art. Wait,
Isn't
am I Link in that one?
Why do you
like
think that you're Link?
I think
Yeah,
I'm
guess so.
Ganon.
Because look, there's 3 people, and Flicky is nearest to, well, unless...
Well, that must be right, because I'm the girl.
Wait, unless
No,
PJ...
so-
No, hang on a minute,
Zelda's
I got
Link
it.
And Zelda.
Yeah,
Flicky
and...
is the sword that I'm holding.
No, I'm sitting on your shoulders. We're together, we're Ganon.
I have to say, this game has one of the best-looking Ganons.
Yeah,
oh
I
yeah.
like him.
it doesn't look weird at all. What do we do now? Introduce the guests. I've done that. I sort of did
Done
it in
that.
the wrong order, yeah. So let's recap weeks. PJ, you're first, as per usual. What have you been up
Alright,
to?
sweet. I actually had a productive week, believe it or not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know. I'm just as surprised. So I set a new personal best in 7th Saga by a whopping 43 minutes. So that time is now down to 6 hours, 57 minutes.
Well done. I saw you streaming that the other day, and I couldn't bear to watch it.
Good.
That's the idea.
about
That means it's working.
You must be really trying to find things to do instead.
Yeah, I know. I didn't put it
doing
on our
physical-
records list because it was over 2 days, so it's like not even a category. It's just like lazy man's RTA.
So you just left it on overnight.
Yeah, no, no. There's an in-game timer, so I just shut it off and then started like 2
Alright.
days later again.
Right.
So there's that. Mecha Richter and I have been practicing Battletoads and Double Dragon co-op, which is just
I guess with an online emulator, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hilarious. The game is so bad.
Oh,
It's more
yeah.
broken than the original is.
I recall you trying to practice my game, and you not letting me because you wanted to show me tricks from that game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So practice
you're
is
doing-
going really well.
Yeah?
Really well there. And of course, Mr. K and I are still working on our stuff.
On your second game,
Secret
which
project.
is listed on the AGDQ schedule as PJ and K's secret game. So
Yeah.
does Mike even know what it is?
No. I don't know. Like, we were gonna tell him eventually, but then, like, it
Nah.
kind of got out of hand, and now it's like, we've gone too far to tell anybody, so it's just
That
gonna,
sounds bad though. PJ and Mr. K's secret game.
I think it's just PJ's mystery game.
Oh, is
Okay.
it? Could be. That,
Doesn't
that
I don't
sound
know,
nice.
it doesn't make it any better.
yeah, the K's was the redeeming quality there. Now it's just abysmal. Alright, Feasel. And I guess Zelda 2.
Yeah, Zelda 2.
Oh, and
I've
Hydlide,
done a bit
actually.
of that, but I'm probably more Hydlide than Zelda 2 actually this week for once. I've just been on such a kick for Hydlide because
I
they
tried
keep-
watching Hydlide, and it's impossible for me to...
No, I understand. I fully understand why.
But you get
people
like
don't wanna
90
watch the-
viewers still.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think people are just hoping I'll play Zelda 2 is the thing.
Hmm.
So, but anyway, I'm enjoying it, and I'm just keep beating the goals that I set and shaving more and more time off, and I've changed the way I do the grinding, so I'm basically only fighting eels up till the point where I have to grind those hypers, the things that look like Octoroks, and so it's gotten a lot more fun rather than just sitting there, hitting slimes over and over again, actually taking down these big enemies for more experience. It makes it more entertaining, and it's much less grinding than ever before, so, it's gotten better. If I can get it under 20 minutes, then it might actually be a pretty watchable speedrun.
Yeah, whenever I've tried to watch it, it's just a bunch of load save, and then some stuff happens.
And also, Dunius and I are looking at the game, and he's making a task of it that so far he's got it in under 5 minutes, which is like half the length of the task that's on task videos, and that's just a first pass. So there's actually a lot of technical stuff to be done in the game. It's kind of neat.
It's cool.
That's insane that it's under 5 minutes now.
Yeah.
I've not really done much. I played Left 4 Dead, and that's basically it. I had a great plan to practice stuff, but you know how
Well
it is.
played.
Alright, because I'm enjoying the chat getting annoyed that Cosmo's not talking. Annie, what have you done this week?
I've played a lot of Bomberman 64. That's
Please tell us more.
It's not fun.
Is it not? Is it really
No.
not fun?
No, it's seriously really bad. I don't like it. I just want a record and I'll be done with it.
I'm sure the chat really want to hear about Bomberman 64.
Yeah, but I got like nothing else to talk about. I'm sorry.
Hang on, is it not in the world record section? We can't even talk about it then.
No.
Who knows when what other chance you'd get to talk about it, Annie?
When
It's now or never.
Now or never. I don't know.
Got nothing.
No,
I got nothing, man.
he can't even make something up.
No, man.
That's
Yeah.
I don't think he's even played that game. Who can't
I
talk about
don't.
the game that they run?
only Annie apparently.
Yeah, man. That's much Bomberman 64. There's nothing to it.
Alright. Cosmo, what have you done this week?
Well, I did get a new record, and it was cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, I've been kind of busy working on the site, speedrunslive.com. And this guy, Poochie Darcy, he's like the greatest person in the world. He like took a week off of work just to like help program the back end of the site. So yeah, he's been doing that like all week, and now we're kind of finishing that up. But that's pretty much what I've been working on. That's why I haven't been streaming over the last few days. But the Wind Waker run was good, and I want to beat it, so I'm trying to get back into that now. But I know I still have to like finish the site too, so it's kind of like two things at once.
Yeah, so does that mean we'll be getting the new SRL soon?
Yeah, I can't make any guarantees of when that would be, but it should be soon. I know I've been saying that for like months.
Well, you got a choice. You can either wait for it to be done and then do a countdown, or do my favorite thing is just start a countdown now. Pick an arbitrary date, like 28 days from now, and make a countdown, and if it's not ready, just be like, sorry guys. That works out.
As long as you
Let's
don't use
say-
like an actual timer that counts down in real time, you just like keep updating the page. So if it's going slower, you just wait like 5 days between edits and then change it down a day.
July
That was
4th, let's do it.
July 4th,
4th,
Independence Day.
Yep.
That is right, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So,
Ooh.
is that just going to be so everybody's going to be out drinking so they won't notice it's not changed, or?
Yeah, they'll come back and be like, is this how it's supposed to be?
Oh, it never looked like this till now. Wow.
It's fantastic. All right, so that might happen. That's what we like
yeah,
to hear.
yeah.
Heard it here first.
Okay, so let's go straight into the news because we got a lot of records this week.
And we want to get to the Wind Waker as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've not got much time. So I figured this week we'd spread the love, and we're going to name this section this week's Cool Kids, after the fantastic Cool Kid, because we can't always name it after EXO or Riz, that's just rude. So, Cool Kids records this week, dedicated to you, Cool Kid. First of all, we have Yoshi's Island. Oh hey, I remember, was it like 3 weeks ago, I said Carl Sagan was going to make some Japanese kid cry, because he's going to destroy his any percent in like a week of practice. Yeah, so Carl Sagan beat his any percent in like a week of practice.
Yep.
Was it 45 seconds faster than the Japanese guy?
Sounds about right.
Sounds something like that. And it wasn't even good, really, for Sagan, to be honest.
Yeah, he said he wants to improve it again.
He
But he's
finished
got...
he finished it and laughed at the run. He was like, that was terrible. How is it so much faster than the last guy? So he's just going to smash it at some point in the future, but
But he's got to work on 100% first,
Yep.
because that needs to be taken back.
yeah, because some other Japanese kids got that, so Carl Sagan needs to crush more dreams. So he's doing 100% with Trihex is working on that too, and then once he's done that, he's going to go for sub 148. I think he said he could beat it by like maybe another minute off of what he had. I don't really know. So yeah, so expect Sagan and Trihex to take that 100% soon. The way it's been going, I wouldn't be surprised if they both sort of beat it, but I'm going to put my money on Sagan to do it first. 'Cause-
Trihex was real close.
Yeah, he was like 5 minutes under, wasn't he, at one point?
Yeah, he was way ahead. And
Oh
then
wow, I didn't miss that.
yeah, and then World 5 and 6 just ended him.
Yeah, they're pretty brutal. Was he doing the extra levels as he went that time?
No, he did all the extras at the end.
Right, because someone said he was, so I was like, man, he got through 3E, and he's still 5 minutes ahead? That's pretty ridiculous.
No. Yeah, he had just an amazing run, amazing breakthrough run out of nowhere.
Yeah,
That was
that's
tragic.
it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see he's actually playing the game he's meant to as well.
Yeah.
Alright, Cosmo, you can read out your own one. Just guest honors here.
Yeah. So, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, 5 hours, 27 minutes, 59 seconds by me, Cosmo, and it's any percent English with the Tingle Tuner. And it was pretty good, although I think there were 4 big mistakes. Basically, the first big one was the Dragon Roost Cavern boss key skip, and that costs like 2.5 minutes right at the beginning, so it's like pretty big mistake. And then the second one was I didn't get perfect luck for the Cyclone. I got second try, but it wasn't even the best position as well, so I had to actually sail to outset, so that's wasted even more time. And then the third one, I think I wasted like 40 or 50 seconds in the Earth Temple, and the Cabanadid skip wasn't perfect either, so there's still a lot of time to be saved. I think under 520 would be really good, but yeah.
That's with current skips, because I mean it's a Zelda game.
Yeah.
The only guarantee in a Zelda game seems to be that you have to watch the Majora's Mask opening cutscene. That's the only one. Do you want to read out the note as well? I don't know who wrote this. There's a little note there.
The file name was Brony. Why'd it have to be Brony?
Some people were very upset that it was Brony, but
yeah,
I think it's the perfect motivation.
That's the perfect motivation to beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Annie, you can do this one because you sort of know Nez. I heard you've met him.
I've met him a couple times. It's Super Mario Land, 80%, 1258 by NES Kamikaze. I don't actually know anything about this run.
Oh yeah, I know a bit. Well, it's on the Super Game Boy, right? The SNES.
Yeah, I think it's Super Game Boy that he's using.
Yeah. And he got a 1301, I think. And he was frantically trying to time it to see if it was better than the Japanese one or not. And it turns out it was exactly tied. And I recall it because he said it was like 1301.613, and I was trying to figure out how it was 0.613 because that's a prime number. So I don't know how the frames worked out to end up at that time.
Don't question it.
But it just did. That's just how it worked. So he basically went back and beat this, like right away afterwards. It's a lot of him running right and jumping at the right time.
Mm-hmm. And then the auto-scrollers where you fly around.
In the submarine and in a
submarine
plane.
and a ship plane, yeah.
Pretty cool game. It's actually really fun. The music's pretty sweet too.
Yeah, as I'm watching it, I'm like humming the music in my head.
Dun, 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 dun. No, I can't do it now. I've choked. I just choked.
Shoot, that was your one chance.
I know. I'm screwed. It's this stupid Silver Surfer music I'm listening to. It's making the show sound a lot more frantic.
Did you say stupid Silver Surfer music?
Well, it's ruining me. That's why it's stupid. But it's actually a pretty cool run. The game's really awesome. If you haven't played it in the chat, you should go give it a go. I thought this was actually the first Mario game ever made when I got it when I was a kid. So whenever someone said like you beat Mario in 5 minutes, I thought they meant this one. Which is impressive because there are auto-scrollers that take about that long.
Right. Yeah, I think the last level alone is like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty lengthy.
Or, I mean, maybe not that long, but pretty long.
And the final boss is a cloud.
Yeah, which takes like 2 seconds to kill.
How long does this star last?
It also plays the Can-Can music, right?
Does it?
I believe.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, in the bonus area?
No, the star. The star is the Can-Can music.
Oh, the star, that's right.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Oh, nice.
And also the fireball doesn't come back down.
Yeah, that was always weird.
It just keeps going. You shoot it at the floor and it bounces up into space and it's gone.
That's how strong Mario is.
Alright, Feasel, do you want to pretend to be Duckfist and do this one?
Why, sure, of course I can. So we've got Mega Man 9 in 20 minutes, 46 seconds, any percent, that's the in-game time, by R.G. Gibson.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. For apparently played on the Virtual Console, I guess.
Apparently so.
Not the original NES version.
He got the WiiWare version of it.
Right.
I've only played the Game Boy Color port.
Oh, there were comments for this too. We dropped the ball here. Let me open them up. He sent us a message.
Come on, Flicky.
I'm on it. I'm doing it.
Get your head in the game.
Okay, first off, thanks for sharing my Mega Man 9 time on the show a month or two back. You're welcome. I recently passed my in-game time goal of 2048 with a single segment 2047 run. Wait, isn't it 2046? Let's assume he's wrong and it's 2046 and we're right.
Don't worry about it.
This is a 31-second in-game time improvement over Exo's RTA, but of course sacrifices much more in real time. My single segment time is good enough for a 4th place on the Wii All Clear leaderboards, and the 1st place time on the leaderboard is clearly a hack. I've uploaded a highlight reel video here. Thank you. That's what we're playing. I can attach the video for download somewhere if it need be, just let me know. And I think we have that too on our link database.
Oh, nice.
Can you imagine it? Did you know, guys, there's a link database below the stream? Did you know that, Cosmo?
I think I did.
Yeah, it's in the info section. Just open it up. It takes you to the SDA wiki page where it has every record we've talked about. And because we finally got our butts together? Is that what I was
Yes,
going to say?
PJ's been doing a good job with his butt and the updating that database.
I've been practicing my butt for just this opportunity.
So,
But I
yes.
figured I can't make videos anymore because every time I do, it's like, no. Instead, we're just going to cut the second half and replace it with something unrelated.
Yeah. So,
So,
was this...
yeah.
This really wasn't made by you and your incredible player either, then?
No. No, it very well could have been. I don't know.
But yeah, either way, check out the link database, and all the stuff is in there. All the video runs we talk about today, highlights, maybe in there too.
46.
Oh, 2046. So he was wrong. He couldn't even message us properly.
The full game run is in there.
Yeah.
I have a link to the entire run.
Yeah.
Almost every record here has links to the
It's got
actual
video.
run
Yeah.
in the link database.
We make sure they're actually real before we talk about them.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just trusting it. Like none of us can be bothered to watch 5.5 hours of Cosmo, but we trust him that the.
Ouch.
Just kidding. I've watched more than that of
Yeah,
Wind Waker,
seriously.
but it's been like 9 hours of Savage Labyrinth. Every damn time I turn on your stream, it's Savage Labyrinth.
Oh, really? I feel
Yeah.
sorry for you, actually.
It's either Savage Labyrinth or like the start of the game with the bird people.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I always get Earth Temple.
I wish I could get a temple. I get the spider centipede lava monster fight or Savage Labyrinth. It's mostly Savage Labyrinth, about 90% Savage Labyrinth. So I was so happy to see Savage Labyrinth skits existed. I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
The chances of me not seeing Savage Labyrinth have increased. All right, Feasel, hey, this one you can do it. Wait, hang on a
what's
minute.
this?
It's not on the record on the screen list.
What's the one you're talking about?
It's Mario World. Is it on the
I'll-
next page or something?
We'll do this in order here.
Yeah,
So we got a video for Silhouette Mirage, and this is a game I don't know anything about, but it looks pretty cool. And I saw it played at HDQ.
Yeah, this was messaged to me by Kari,
Uh-huh.
who now wants to be known as Karaoke.
Okay.
And I have no idea what this game was,
Well,
but
from what I can tell, it
yeah.
seems to be like a platformer game, and you use the one stick to shoot in 360 degrees.
oh really?
So it's sort of like a dual stick shooter platformer
Looks cool.
kind of thing. I don't know, it looks pretty neat.
To be honest, from the name, I thought it would be some kind of NAF JRPG, but it actually looks
I thought exactly the same thing, but it actually looks like something I would play. So
yeah, looks pretty sweet. Damn.
Yeah.
But anyway, they messaged us, so I was like, well, we'll put it on the show anyway. Could be cool. Because the last time I didn't know anything about a game was probably,
Shatterhand.
yeah, well, there's Shatterhand, and then, what's the game Shaman Thingamajig ran? The
Oh,
shooter as well.
Twinkle
Twinkle yeah. So
yeah.
now I'm just letting any of them on in case they're awesome shooters, which they seem to be a good bunch at the time. And this looks awesome.
It does look good.
Either way, I don't know how good it is. I think they said they were working on it for a while. I got a message about that one too, so let me whip that up. Did one of us make this video? Because they didn't.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I made it. I just picked stuff that looked good. I don't really know what's the execution-heavy parts of the game.
That works too. It looks awesome. And this is... Oh my god, look
Was
at...
it Saturn?
No, it's not. It's PS.
PlayStation.
Oh, PlayStation.
So here's the message. Hey there, TSSB dudes. I made a new record in Silhouette Mirage for the PS1. As far as I know, it's the best time for the US PS1 version. All the other runs for this version are the Japanese Saturn or PS1 version, which are pretty different. Anyway, the time is 49:30, and here's a link to the Twitch recording. You can credit me as Karaoke. My name on SDA is Carrie, but I need to change it so it's less confusing with all the others named, which I think there are 2 other Carries.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess popular name. But hey, that looks pretty sweet. Hey, Feasel, you can do this one.
Okay, what am I doing now?
Rygar now.
Rygar. Oh, good old Rygar. Well, so the 2301 sat for quite a while, since I think Darkwing got it in, I'd say May or April, I guess. April sometime. Must have been. So, we got a video for this too. And, so, you know, he worked on it, you know, preparing for Summer Games, and then now that he got the Zelda run that he wanted, I guess he went back and decided to see if he can get the sub 23, and he managed to get it just barely. This run is extremely tight. There's very few things that could be improved, but you still could shave a few more seconds off of it. And I'm going to keep doing attempts on this eventually once I'm done with some of the things that I'm working on. But he's submitting this this run.
Oh, so you will beat the record then.
Right.
Just after it gets accepted.
I don't know
No, his
if I mean,
verification response is just going to be a link to his fester.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, this is going to be hard. I don't know that I can beat this, but I'll try.
And you'll do it. Don't lie to us.
You had some new just like 5 seconds ago, or what you guys were watching 5 seconds ago, was a new damage boost that he added there, which ends up saving a lot of time. Actually, a lot of times you can make that jump without taking damage at all. So this section here is probably the place where the most time could be saved, getting through those like parrot bird things. And then, of course, grinding. I don't know why I had to include a clip of the grinding.
Of course you did. Guess what else would... You had to include a clip of the first boss, which was the slowest boss in speedrun history, and a clip of grinding.
Oh. The grinding is tough, though. To do it fast is tough.
Slowest boss in speedrun history is quite a claim.
Well, okay, NES platforming speedrun history, right? I mean, have you seen it? Have you seen him fight the three-headed thing?
Yeah.
It just goes on forever.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
I imagine when you first did that, you would have thought, no, I'm not damaging him.
Right, because well, when I was a kid, I didn't know that you had to level up, so I went there, you know, and didn't kill very many things, and then the guy takes like 100 hits or something stupid, and so, you know, I was just there forever.
Alright, Cosmo, you can do this next one on the list, because you actually played this game too, right? Or
Yeah.
have played.
So Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the PlayStation version. Any percent no out of bounds, so it has to go and get the 2 Wolf Relics by Satoru in 3211. And the PlayStation version is kind of slower than the Xbox version, which is like there's no lag, and the Xbox version has an actual like in-game timer that you use after the run's over. And I guess I'm not 100% sure, but I guess for the PlayStation version, you just time your video, so your pause menus actually count in the timing. And it says he wants sub 32, so that sounds good. 11. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like 11 more seconds is probably doable, but I haven't seen the run, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, Soten's another game where I just have no idea what a good time even is anymore. I'm used to ROM's times, which are all on the Xbox version, so I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not really sure like how it compares, but it seems like it'd be a good time. I imagine that. I mean, they're kind of close. Satoru was always good at it, so.
Yeah.
So I think last time we mentioned this, which was when Satoru had a 3221, it looks like. I think Ram said that would be about equivalent to the run that he had on SCA, which was, I think, a 2916 or something on the XBLA version. So it's a pretty comparable time to Ram's.
Yeah. What was it, like 3-4 minutes, Rom said, difference? Something like that.
That would sound about right.
Yeah. Fiesel, man. Hey, do this game. Try and make it sound interesting. I'm intrigued to see what your highlight video for this is.
Castle Quest. Actually, this was really interesting. Like, because I thought when I saw the route that this is the same guy I think that had the run a number of months ago, and he used a totally different route. Found a sequence break that I hadn't seen anywhere before. He still uses that same sequence break. He has a better way of doing it, and he has basically just different keys that he picks up. So mostly the changes come from just collecting slightly different set of keys. He's still basically visiting the same rooms. It's just slightly optimized keys. And but the way he does this new sequence break, which I don't know when it's coming up, becomes a lot easier. And the way he does the room with those falling bricks there, where he gets the key, goes out and comes back in, is actually easier. So the route that he's using here actually is less risky than the one that he did for the other video, in addition to being faster. So that's a big win. So yeah, the sequence break is what you're watching right now. So he does this room a different way, so you don't have to worry about what kind of guy spawns out of that wizard, because he can spawn 3 different kinds of guys, and what he spawns is based on it's based on your movements, and it's kind of a frame perfect thing getting him to spawn the right kind of guy to use for jumping up there. And so now with this new version of that room, you don't have to do that anymore. So I'm really looking forward to trying this new route out. I think it'll be a lot more doable.
And it's about 45 seconds faster than the old one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So half of it was from that room right there, with the sequence break room, because he does it, gets a different set of keys, so he can take that door in the bottom middle, and that saves a ton of time. And then other than that, it's just minor things of getting this key rather than that key.
So it's quite surprising how much route changes there are between this and the run you did.
Oh yeah, well, knowing that sequence break of jumping on top of the guy as he's appearing, that was the key difference. Why those routes were different from each other.
All right, so another exciting Castle Excellent highlight video. Well done, Cecil.
So how is that run? Is that a really clean run? Like you can't
It's
beat
really
that
tight.
time basically?
Well, I don't know that I can't beat it. Well, I know one thing, like the last death that you saw, he uses death abuse to get up, back to the top of the screen instead of going around. The way he did it, you could have manipulated that guy in a different way and saved about 2 seconds maybe, so there's at least that. But other than that, it's extremely tight. Like, if I try to just copy his route, he's even got all the lag stuff figured out. He knows where to stand to get the minimal lag on each screen, and he's the first person I've seen who's actually realized that if you jump all the time, you reduce lag. So a lot of optimizing the movements is trying to make it so you're in the air almost all the time.
You say first person as if there's hundreds of guys who played this game.
There are a surprising number of tasks by Japanese, or like on Nico, by Japanese runners.
Yeah. There was the Japanese task that I found instead of that run when I was looking for it. Alright, well, let's move on. Annie, you can do this one again, because you've met Nez in real life, right?
I totally have. Dash Galaxy in the Alien Asylum 732 80% by Ness Kamikaze. I only know that he came into my stream once and he was like, Annie, I'm going to speedrun the worst possible game. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so he spent like maybe a couple days getting this record.
I remember watching this as well and thinking,
look how slow the platforming is.
I got this far in the video and I was like, no.
Just look how slow the guy moves, but he has these awesome leaps and dashes. I love the animation. He slides and you can triple jump. It looks like it's got complicated movement mechanics, but it looks so silly.
Unintentionally complicated.
Yeah.
Look at these
Be
pitch
really
perfect
messed
log
up.
jumps. This is Olympic standard technique. Anyway,
Guy's so skinny.
Yeah.
so Nez described this to me as the only bad game he owns, is what he told me. It's the only bad game he
You have
owns.
like 264 games.
Well, that's what I said. But
There's at least 195 from that selection.
so yeah, he did this. How long? I'm glad it didn't take him long.
I love that there's these overhead parts too.
It's just block pushing puzzles are the overhead parts.
Wow. In that room, I didn't even know if it was an overhead or...
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I was looking at.
Oh, man.
So yeah, this is Dash Galaxy in the Alien. Is Dash Galaxy the guy's name?
It's gotta be.
He's called Dash Galaxy.
That's the name of an adventure, if you ask me.
Screw! I'm not naming my kid Cosmo anymore. I'm naming him Dash Galaxy.
Patch.
Hell yes. So Yeah, well done, Nez.
Look at all the exclamation marks.
Oh my god.
Wow. I'm surprised they even gave it an ending.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's a lot of exclamation marks. Alright. I'm glad that spoke for itself. Annie, you can do this one too. Hey.
Yeah, I actually
fantastic.
can.
I actually know about this.
Yeah, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, won 1832, 80% by Surreal. This is actually a pretty good run. I don't know what to refer off of. I did this game for AGDQ, and back then it was like 2 hours long, and it's like 30 minutes shorter than it is now, because I ended up finding like 2 huge sequence breaks that you can go ahead and talk about this for a second.
So that's Annie's little brother. He's very friendly and lovable. I don't really know much about this game except that it's pretty fun. And Annie did it. Did Annie do this one? Awesome Games Done Quick 2011? I think it was the first.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Go on, Annie.
I would go on, but my little brother's still here, so I may or may not have interruptions. I would rather not talk about the AGDQ run. That was atrocious. But I don't know what to cover. There's still quite a bit of time to take off of this record, but it's a really inconsistent game, and anything can happen. So
Anything can happen.
anything.
Clever stuff.
Wordplay.
But yeah, this has a lot more breaks than back when I played it, so it's actually a really good run. A couple more minutes can still come off of it,
Yeah.
but this is really solid.
It's typical of a 3D PlayStation platformer where you can't go through many walls, so you don't think there's that many breaks, but then you realize you can climb on almost anything. So you can skip a lot of the game, and it actually looks quite a lot like
Is this Blastcore right now?
I know, it looks like Blastcore. I love it. That's why I had to throw this clip in, because this looks like so much fun.
Well, it can't be, because he's not driving on the side door.
It's got a little bumper in the front, though, that
he's
it kicks
driving.
out.
He's driving forwards too.
Yeah.
So, but it's a pretty fun game, right, Annie?
Yeah, it's a really fun game.
People
I like
should
it a
go
lot.
buy it. So yeah, that was by Surreal, who was actually on the show last week. We like Surreal, so pretty sweet. Does anyone know anything about this next game?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do?
Yeah.
Do you want to do this?
I can do this.
Yeah.
So, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, MST on the Japanese version by Poodle Skirt in 2:21:04, and now the time's getting pushed pretty low. Like all the cutscene skips and wrong warps have finally like come together into like a solid route that's getting like pretty decently optimized, and I think Poodle beat the record by like just a little bit, and then he beat it by like 3 more minutes, and now it's like pretty hard to beat. And I think he does want to cut off another like minute and like get under 220 basically, just get another minute off of it, but it's going to be pretty hard. So
Yeah. Anytime you have 220 something, you're like, oh, I don't know.
yeah,
It would look a lot nicer if it was 219.
yeah. Well, he does think it's possible as far as I know, and I think he was working on some strats, so maybe he'll do that. But it doesn't seem like anyone else is close. I think the other person who's still working on it is Gregor Tixilkins, who has a really funny name.
Yeah.
And,
impossible to say.
Yeah, I think just recently he got like 228, so
Yeah, he's been practicing a lot. He was practicing before all the wrong warp stuff too.
yeah.
It was quite cool to see his times go down. He does quite a lot of MST.
Yeah, he streams a lot, so you guys can check him out. And Poodle Skirt streams a lot too.
If you can figure out how to spell his name. Not Poodle Skirt, that's easy. Oh, Gregor one. And do you want to tell the people what you told us about MST, as far as you're concerned?
Oh, like how the categories been changing?
Well, you can say a bit about. I was more saying that what you told us about how you're just going to steal the record.
Well, my plan is kind of to sit back, and if I ever get back into the game, hopefully all the wrong warps will be completely optimized, so I won't have to go through the horrible pain of trying to get them all down. So I'm just kind of sitting back and waiting for stuff to happen.
You're drafting at this point.
He's gonna be Jerk Cosmo. Just sneak in, steal that. Easy peasy.
I just pictured like Cosmo sitting on a throne like Dr. Claw, petting a cat, watching a computer monitor of other people doing the planning.
There'll be hundreds of monitors, each with a different Zelda stream on it. And
Well,
hit
50
points
of watching a bingo race, and then the other 50 of monitoring the MST developments.
Alright, we got VVV next, which is an absolutely fantastic game. If any of you in the chat have not played it, the hell's wrong with you? We can wait, yeah, it's not that long. We can wait if you want to go play it now. But no, it's really good, and Fiery Blizzard sort of started playing the game a bunch to try and beat Tranquilite's times, and he actually did. No, I was really surprised because Tranquilite's runs are really good.
Yeah.
And so he's ended up with a 1521, which is one death, which I don't actually know where it was. I can't remember. He did say.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I thought it was in the Gravitron or
I
whatever
don't
that
think
thing
it was the
But
Gravitron.
no, it wasn't.
It was.
He said it was like a 5-second checkpoint, though.
Yeah, it was a checkpoint. I'm gonna have to look for it. Do you want to talk about it a bit, PJ, while I find it?
Not
Out
really.
Um,
You got it.
Okay, well, I watched him stream a bunch recently. He's thinking of going for a 0 deaths run, but I think he's kind of happy with this one. He says 15-15 is possible, which normally means he's going to go for 15-15. And then I imagine he's going to be going for 100% after that.
I think he's submitting this one. This 15,
Oh, yeah?
21. I think so.
How much longer is 100%?
It's about 5 minutes, 4 minutes more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Not
it's not
that much
bad.
longer. You get the trinkets, which are basically en route. I saw him practicing it actually the other day. It says here he's going to submit anything under 1850 for 100%. I think it says pick yourself down is where he died. I'm completely lost it. So anyway, it's a sweet game, VVV. And after that, I went and started listening to the soundtrack right away, and then I started listening to the Silver Surfer soundtrack because those are totally linked games.
Obviously.
Yeah. Oh man, is this on here again? God damn.
Yeah.
Is that just
It was an
stuff from
accident.
last week? Oh, okay.
It is. Is this actually better? Mikey
Yeah.
Yama's just got a list of times, so he's mentioned on every week.
It's true. We
Didn't-
don't
I
actually
think we
check
called
the
this.
times.
We
could
called
be
this the last
slower.
time it was on. He said, yeah, my goal's going to be sub 2030. And the last time he said, my goal's sub 2040, he hit it right on the nose. It's like, well, I got to beat it now. And
So-
sure enough, here it is.
Next week it's going to be a second faster. And we're going to get all the people. Where's Splinterface? Where's Splinterface? Well, there's no Splinterface this week.
No, Mike requested that we don't
Yeah.
make a highlight video for
Yeah.
this, so...
He said
Mike has to learn his lesson. He can't just take advantage of us like this.
he said that there was no there was a death, right? So he doesn't.
Yeah, he died once somehow.
So there's no highlight video. Thank God, because we can't tell the difference. So, anyway, who wrote this? That was me, wasn't it? Crash Bandicoot, not Cop. So Kane Apache from last week, we talked a bit about his Crash Bandicoot 100% run. He actually beat it. Again. Oh my goodness! Get out of here, Duckfist. He actually beat the record, beat his time again, and I have a message for this too. I'm gonna go get it. I can't remember how much he beat it by, but like 3 minutes? I want to say 3 minutes. But the run is still as difficult as it was last week, so there's nothing there changed. So we do have the comment, here we go. Hey Flicky, I want to say we're getting a lot of thanks this week from our people submitting records. It's interesting. Anyway, I want to say thanks for the Sunday sequence break, and then the happy face with the... What do you call those, Annie? It's with the hat?
Oh man, if only there was a place for you to type it for
The
us.
hat.
Yeah, like that face. It was one of those.
Where are we talking?
Yeah.
Dude, what? I'm confused.
Are you alright?
Ugh.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Yeah? It was
Yeah.
one of those faces either way.
Those, yeah.
Yeah, so whatever emotion that is, that's the emotion he's trying to convey. The feedback since last Sunday's stream from the community has been awesome. early this week I was able to beat my Crash Bandicoot 100%, and there's a video link, by 1:20. There you go. So the new time is 1:28.25. There's still plenty of time for improvement from either not dying or implementing new time savers, but I'm one step closer to the elusive run. So there you go. He's also got a Wind... No, actually, no, I think that's not Wind Waker, it's Phantom Hourglass. I'm sorry, as his avatar. My bad. Is there like a cane of Patchy? That's not in Wind Waker, is it?
No.
Nah, sorry, man. I dropped the ball there. I'm really sorry.
Oh, man.
Okay, Oracle of Ages. Do you know anything about this, Cosmo? I'm gonna guess.
I am actually very fraudulent when it comes to handheld Zelda and 2D Zelda, so
it's fine. We can't.
Yeah.
We can't all be.
Fraudulent is an interesting description.
We can't all be Tompa. So.
Right. Exactly. So, it is 249.47 any percent. Oracle of Ages by the only one, or the only zero. He has two names, I guess. But,
both very different things. The only one and the only zero.
yeah. I'm not sure. I think there was some, like, weird new glitch discovered in this recently, but I don't know if it plays into this run at all. I'm actually not sure. I wish I knew more, but I don't really have much to say.
That's alright, we don't know either. I know it was made by Capcom, and that Tompa played it. Once?
Once?
But either way, Tompa told me that the other records that we had of these were really good, so I'm imagining this one is too. I mean, it's 3 hours, and it's the longest 2D Zelda by quite a lot as far as speedrunning goes, so I imagine it's still pretty solid. Does it say he's improving? No, it doesn't have any comment.
Zelda runners are always improving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
Always.
Can't stop. They're like the Soten runners. They thought they quit, but actually no.
No, that's... Ram succeeds in quitting a few months at a time, and then beats his record without even any attempts.
So there you go, the guy's in the chat. He says he is going to improve it. So congratulations, only one or only zero.
Both of you.
Hey, Cosmo, you can do this one too.
Yeah, I can do this one. Twilight Princess by Fino in 3:28.04 any percent. That's a really good time, and it's pretty clear that Fino's like the best player of the game. The thing is, he cut off the record by like 5 minutes, and the reason for that is like there's this thing called... Well, I don't even really know what it's called, but it's like this
make
pillar,
something up.
It's like this underwater pillar clip with the iron boots, and basically the hard part is you have to clip through this wall and make it to the loading zone of the dungeon just before your air runs out, and it was thought to be too difficult for like a single segment run or whatever, but Fino started doing it now. And the thing about it as well, I'm not actually sure if this is accurate or not, but I believe it lets him also skip part of the first dungeon using some new break in the overworld, but that might not actually be true, I'm not sure, but it's definitely a trick that's really ridiculously hard, and he was able to do it in his run and cut off a bunch of time.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so Fino confirms that, yeah, in the overworld he gets to skip past some trigger that was found recently, and it was thought to be worthless because, like, if you did it, the game crashed, like, everywhere you tried to, like, fix the glitch or whatever, but it only works in that dungeon, so you have to do the underwater pillar clip thing to actually skip the first dungeon. So it also skips Zora armor, which means that the boss of that dungeon is kind of ridiculous as well, and Zant later, because you fight him underwater. So, I don't know, the run's getting really crazy, and it's really cool to see Fino push it so low.
So you saying that they successfully broke the game and also broke the thing that's meant to stop you breaking the game?
Yeah.
Well
Sounds
played,
about right.
well played, Zelda runners. Well played.
Would that affect the 100% route at all?
I have no idea. I don't think it would, because you still get Zora armor and you would still beat the Forest Temple at 100%. Oh my god, the clip where he gets rid of all the water bombs.
Is that what he's doing? Cause
yeah, he has to get rid of all his water bombs so he can like change his bomb type or something.
Oh, it's something. Washing his hair.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's really funny.
Alright, and then we got Cool Kid broke a record again.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah. Who? Anybody surprised?
Nope.
Impressed, yes. Surprised, no. Cool Kid broke a Half-Life record. I didn't even know there were this many Half-Life, official Half-Life maps and whatnot that he could even run. I don't know where, but this beats one he did recently, I believe. Didn't he do this last week, or was it the week before he got this too? I can't
I don't
remember.
know.
Check that link database, somebody. Oh, I'll do it.
I'm right here.
It's not in
Uh,
alphabetical order.
Episode 13 was the last one.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, I must have talked to him about it early this week. Either way, again, it's single segment, no scripts, which is how Cool Kid does it. So this is all gameplay, all him doing everything, no bunny hopping strips, anything like that. It's 28:23, and it's Cool Kid, and the note should pretty much just say Cool Kid. There's nothing on the notes. It's Cool Kid.
Yeah.
If you don't know that Cool Kid's amazing, go check out his stream, DaBigBoy/DaBigBoy. I'll type it
It's in
out.
the link
Actually.
database
Big
too.
boy.
If you search
Yes.
for Cool Kid.
Cool Kid is such a ridiculously good runner. It's not even funny.
And very modest.
Very much. Oh no, did I mistype that? No, I think that still links.
You can
Yeah.
just go down in our page.
Yeah.
Our page info. He was on episode 11 here. There's a link to him. Just click on Cool Kid.
Yeah, Cool Kid's just ridiculous. Him and EXO make the rest of us look bad.
Yeah.
Except maybe Cosmo, but... No, yeah, Cosmo too. Sorry, Cosmo.
I bet if
I can only run one
Half-Life.
game at a time. I'm
Yeah.
not a superhuman beast like these guys.
They can run as many games as they want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally different games too. Like Cool Kids, like oh my god, one of my favorite streams of his was the glitched Mega Man 1.
Yeah,
oh my
that is
god, that was so
obscene.
fun to watch.
That run is ridiculous, so...
Yeah.
I mean, Cool Kid, Mega Man 1, for example, Half-Life, and there's, like, just
A week of Garfield.
a week of Garfield.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, we like to pimp Cool Kid's stream because he gets criminally low viewer counts, considering how damn good he is at everything.
Yeah.
So,
If
go
he
check
could
out
password protect his stream, and the viewer count would probably be unaffected.
I try to watch him every time he's on, but yeah, go check him out. And he's been playing some Mega Man X recently too. I'm waiting for him to just beast at one of those games.
Oh no, he's going to jump in the middle of that mess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll leave that Cosmo going. We got Sinister, whoa, this time.
Yeah.
Ninja, I'll say it just for him because this time's pretty sweet. Ninja Gaiden by Sinister One, NES, US version, Pacifist, 1807.
Yeah.
It's like a minute 20 faster than last week.
Yeah, a minute 22 faster.
And didn't he say he was not going to do this anymore?
Yeah, he did. But because the AGDQ 2013 games list thread came
yeah.
out, he's going to be doing Pacifist Ninja Gaiden there, so he has to keep playing it anyways.
So,
It seems
So-
really fun. Like it's really like a lot of like puzzle solving, basically, like trying to figure out how to budget the amount of life you have and boost to get past some really tricky spots. I mean, it's cool to watch. It's too bad we don't have a video, but
yeah,
Yeah,
we had
we
a
just
bit of
found out
one
about
last
this.
week, yeah.
watch Sinister
however-
stream.
We do have the full run again in the link database there, if you want to watch it after the show.
you
Yeah,
definitely should
if you want to
check
see
it
the
out if you
most
haven't seen
damage
it.
boosts ever,
Yeah.
go check it out. Alright, then we got Super Meat Boy, 100% 360.
Super Meat Boy!
Well done. Breakdown, 2 hours 29:39, which isn't this his second run of 100%?
I don't know.
He did one the other day, it was about 3 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Second one recently.
yeah. So this is 100% means all A pluses, all levels complete, all warp
All-
zones, glitch zones, all bandages.
Yeah.
That is everything covered, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
he does absolutely everything.
And it's pretty sweet because he uses a lot of the other characters. Because there's a few levels where you need to get a bandage and an A plus at once if you could use certain characters. So there's actually quite a lot of switching up.
Oh, that'll be new. When he runs this at AGDQ, then there'll be this be the first time we have non-Meat Boy stuff going on then?
Yeah, because he uses Ogmo a bunch, he uses Alien Hominid a few times, stuff like that.
Yeah, he's the kid, I think.
I think I watched an hour of his run and it was pretty sweet, but I had stuff to do, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real good.
And this is, what's that say, 419 deaths. So expect to see
Yeah.
plenty of time coming off of this. But it's really cool. Go check it out, and I imagine that'll be a big hit at the marathon.
Yeah,
So.
definitely.
And then Nier, I can do this one simply. OmniGamer, single segment, 32801, 360 version. His segmented time was just under 323, so I'm going to imagine he's going to have to get rid of that sometime soon. I watched a bit of it. It's kind of fun to watch it. He's pretty damn good at it. The combat's way deeper than I thought it was, but if you've played Nier or anything, check it out. Oh, see, this list is all messed up. Why is Super Mario World there? It's way higher on our
You're
list.
confusing the chat, Flicky.
Well,
We talked about this.
I didn't even notice. Is Nier on the next page or not? Because it's not much.
Mine.
It's fine. Fiesel, do you want to go back and do Mario World now then?
Okay, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do Mario. Oh, let's just cycle between them. They blend together.
There, Nier's right there.
Yeah, Nier's there. I did it. Right. Mario World.
Okay, well, let's do Mario World. We have a video for this thing. And, okay, so Dram has been doing run attempts. He beat my time a week or so ago and has since improved it several times. And it's getting tighter and tighter, but there's a lot of mistakes in this run, a lot, so he can definitely get, he can shave off another 20 seconds, I would say, with his current strats. And this is a pretty neat game in general, like the category for this game. One of the neat things is there's a whole spectrum of different tricks you can do that range, in difficulty from, fairly reasonable to really difficult. So, like at this point in time, people are taking off, whole seconds, here and there on all these levels, but I mean, eventually, when the time gets tighter, people will start trying new tricks and playing the game differently. We'll start seeing a lot more out-of-bounds clipping and things like that. So I think there's a lot more to be done with this category.
Dram will find a way to ruin it.
Yeah, well, he's not going to stop till he gets sub 36, I'm sure.
He'll find a way to ruin it.
And then he'll go for 96 exit again?
Yeah, that's going to happen eventually, but right now everyone is all about this no Star World, no Cape. Minions also doing attempts. Carl Sagan might be doing that as well. He was, working on strats. He suggested a bunch of things to Dram and myself and the other SNW IRC people because he found some cool things. One of the a new way to do Valley of Bowser Fortress. That's the one with all those spiky pistons that come up and down.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that and actually keep P-speed through most of that level. Like, while you're waiting for spikes, you run back and forth and jump so you don't lose it. And you can save about 5 seconds. So that was one of the biggest discoveries that route has had in a while.
So, is that must be like the 5th new way of doing that Bowser Fortress section, right? Because there always seems to be a new way of doing it.
There's a bunch of things. I mean, especially with Cape, there's different ways of doing it too.
Alright, cool. So, that's all of those. As per usual, these are all records that we either were told about or just happened to find out about. So if you know about a record that wasn't on the show, or if you've set one, more importantly, that was on the show, please tell us. Otherwise, we won't be able to talk about it. So you can contact us either by messaging this Twitch channel, finding Flicky, PJ, Fiesel, or Duckfist on IRC, or messaging us on the forums, or we have an email address. PJ, what is the email address?
That's mine. The Sunday sequence break at gmail.com.
Yeah, Sunday sequence. Wait, is it the or no the?
There's a the.
There is a the. Okay, so you can email there too. If you want to make us a highlight video, or even just give us some timestamps that are cool from your run, that we can make one ourselves. And we'll pretty much mention any game as long as it's a legit world record and you tell us about it. And there was something else. Don't save your Twitch archive. That's it. Don't not save it. Because we've had someone link a run and they were like, here you go, and it had been deleted by Twitch. So, yeah. Either way, yeah, just do that, that'll be sweet. And news, other news question mark. Oh, there was a bit of news this week about a certain video games marathon that's happening. The GDQ games list is
The AGDQ games list.
It's
Ooh.
building, it's growing, and
That thread grew like 12 posts in about 8 hours, or 12 pages of posts in 8 hours, I think.
so yeah, there's AGDQ is getting there. There's also attendance things going up, something like that. I don't really know. I don't have a game, sad face. But PJ, you've got some stuff. In fact, everyone here's got something except me, right?
What did you suggest?
Mine is on the chopping board, so...
I suggested
chopping
Ape
block.
Escape 3, and they were like, Mike was said no.
Is there another Ape Escape game in the marathon?
Yeah, it's Ape Escape 1 though.
Yeah, Ape Escape 1.
And I don't want to show how bad I actually am at games by trying to play against SSSBM stuff if he actually goes.
You got 6 months to train, man.
Yeah, but I figured what I'd do instead is train Devil May Cry 3 instead. And just steal that from someone. So, the plan is, learn that, go into the donation war against Shadow Wraith, beat him and be like, sorry Shadow Wraith, play my game that I'm not even good at. And then play Ape Escape 3 in the bonus stream and be like, see Mike, people like it. That's my genius plan.
Oops.
But,
Broke the server.
yeah, so PJ's got a bunch of stuff. Fiesel, you've probably got Zelda 2 or something.
Things, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Duckfist has Mega Man 4. Huzzah. It's going to be awesome. Cosmo, you've probably got something, right?
I got a big game called Wind Waker, and
yeah.
actually, I also have Commander Keen 4, 5, and 6, and I haven't actually
Yes.
learned 5 and 6 yet.
What the hell? This isn't fair.
It's
Those are
a,
short games. Like, Wind
Yeah,
Waker's
Commander-
only, what, like 4.5 minutes?
Yeah.
yeah, well, Commander Keen 4 is like, it's like 13 minutes. Commander Keen 5 is like 3 minutes. And
Oh.
Commander Keen 6 is like 6 minutes. So, like, I haven't learned 5 and 6 yet, but they're so short, it should be like
What
a day's
happened
work.
to Cosmo's Adventure or whatever that was?
Oh my god, that game, I don't know. That game's kind of bad, even though I like it. It's bad. I don't know.
So it's not going to make it on.
Yeah, I doubt it. I don't think I'll learn that.
Alright, and then Annie's... What is your game on the chopping block, Annie?
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, that's on the chopping block. Oh, that's sad.
Or apparently it is. Like, Mike said he may or may not have to remove it, so... I'm just patiently waiting until he's like, nope, sorry.
Essentially said absolutely nothing there then.
That game is so good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, I mean, the list isn't done yet. There will still be a few people who don't know if they can go. And there'll be last-minute things, I'm sure. But there's a whole ton of stuff. It's like 180 hours at the moment on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people drop out, though.
Yeah, some people drop out and so on. So, we can't say much more about it. Aside from that, that's about it as far as news goes. I don't know if there are any TASs or submissions that are cool.
Yeah, there's 2 tasks here that I found.
Oh, yeah.
The one, alright, so BB's Kids for Super Nintendo. Cool J made a task of this for some reason, and obviously it was rejected because the game is unbelievably boring. But, it was 10 minutes, 19 seconds. I didn't put these links in the link database yet, but I should. Yeah, man, it's not fun to watch. But there it is. I mean, if you're
There's a
interested in
link.
watching...
If you want to watch it.
Interested in watching the worst game, there it is. You thought Dash Galaxy was bad? No. Alright, so then this task I was actually really excited about. Prehistoric Man.
With
Super
a K.
Nintendo in 20 minutes, 4 seconds, .03 by Magus.
Just for the
And,
fact that I'm watching BB's Kids now.
Don't do it.
LeSean! No, okay, carry on, sorry.
Yeah, so Prehistoric Man is a game that I got like a while ago and played it and loved it. But no one plays the game. There's like a few people who play it on SRL, I think. Zarthak plays it a bit. But it definitely wasn't getting the attention it deserved. So I'm really glad that they made this task. It's really entertaining. It's a great game.
Sorry, I'm watching BB's Kids.
Don't do it.
I'm sorry. I'm going
I
to
think it's
pause it
big.
because otherwise I'm going to start talking about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, big races. I know that there's slight plans to do an Ape Escape race once a week. so that could grow. I don't know.
We had a
then-
40-man bingo, but RaceBot crashed.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, lame.
And yeah, Saturday Night Bingo's still going, right? There was a big MST race actually the other day, wasn't there? 10.
Oh yeah, 10 people out of nowhere. I was actually really surprised.
Yeah. And I mean, again, the Symphony of Thursday Night is still going. There was actually quite a big Link to the Past race today, actually. Was it today?
Well, Sunday afternoons, that's when
Yeah.
we do it.
13 people, any percent, no sword, no save and quit, sorry. I always think
And then
that's...
there was a pretty interesting puzzle race after that.
Yeah, there was a puzzle race, which I actually looked at too, which... Is that still going, that puzzle race?
I don't know.
Yeah,
You should
it
link the puzzle.
Yeah, I will, I got
'cause
it.
it's
Yeah.
kind of neat. All right.
It's a pretty sweet one. You need the exact number of rupees before you can enter dungeons. So...
Flicky, you better arrange an any percent no sword race now. You just made me
Yeah.
really disappointed.
Every time I see no S and Q, I just think it's no sword and something. I don't know why. I'm not bad. It's bad. Anyway, I think it's time we do Game of the Week, right?
Yeah, we're gonna just
I
skip
agree.
right past this filler sequence
Yeah,
break.
we don't need filler this week. All killer, no filler, like Sum 41. That was the name of one of their albums, by the way. I'm not a genuine Sum 41 fan.
You're an ironic one.
Not even that. Alright, hey, Annie, you can do history, right? Because you started before Cosmo.
That's
Yeah,
You're
I
old
can.
school.
I'm old school. I just wish I knew, like, what happened after I was done. Anyway, so the way Wind Waker kind of got started as far as speedruns is TSA had a segmented run that was on SDA. And there's a whole bunch of drama with that. Whoa. Am I the only... Okay. Never mind. It just went super quiet.
It's fine.
So TSA
Someone's fan turned off.
Yeah. TSA did a run, and there was some drama, and now it's removed, and so we don't have a run on SDA anymore. Marcus SDA and Mr. Sparkle both did single-segment speedruns. And yeah. It's the only Mr. Sparkle game I know that he speedruns. Or used to. They both claimed under 7 hours single segment, which at the time was actually a pretty tight window. And then I did a marathon with Giano called Zelda 420, and I got 7 hours 16 minutes. It was called 420 because we did Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess, and our goal was to get those under 20 hours, so that's why we named it.
Oh, okay, well done.
Oh, sure. Thanks for clearing that up.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what it
sorry,
was.
I knew there was a reason why I should not have said that, but that's why it was called 420. And then, like, I haven't actually done a Waker run since that marathon, unfortunately. I did a little percent, but that doesn't even count. Then Elminster hopped on it because he likes to play really long games. And he got a 7:13:42, which was actually pretty good. Then Serpin and Clyde Storm started throwing around some ideas, like trying to find glitches and stuff. Serpin found, like, Wind Waker Dive. He also initially found this trick called zombie hovering. And the way he found that was he was trying to... he was just, like, mashing buttons, basically.
This is why I'm amazed you didn't find it. Were you mashing A or X
No,
or Y
I-
or something? You...
He's mashing L.
And he was mashing like A and B, and he got this like baby hop, and he was like, "Whoa, Clyde Storm, you need to check this out." And then Clyde like fully found it, and now we have a huge, we have like huge sequence breaks now because of that. So thanks Serpent and Clyde Storm for that. And then as soon as they found zombie hovering, a whole bunch of people got onto it, like Diana, there was Braxade, glitches and stuff, like the whole bunch of, a slew of people from Hash Zelda started hopping onto the game.
Even
And-
Mr. Gruns wanted to do some stuff, but he never got into it.
And so then we found a whole bunch. We found like all the boss key skips, and the game where it's at today is mostly because of these guys. The huge optimizations that we have now are mostly thanks to like Mug, who is a Tasser. I'm sure you guys have probably talked.
Awesome German Tasset, right?
Yeah, he's
Tests a lot of
amazing.
Game Boy games.
Mhm.
Yeah, go watch his
Mug's
Super
awesome.
Mario Land 2 run.
He does a
So-
lot of Mario
Yeah.
Sunshine too.
Does he?
Huh.
Oh yeah, he does, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Mug, Ababob, and Kirk all do like task stuff for the game, and they find a lot of like minor optimizations and like recent sequence breaks, like clipping into the pirate ship and stuff like that. And then Giano, like last year, he was like, hey, I'm picking up this game. And I'm like, okay. So I gave him a whole bunch of strategies. And then he's like, okay, here's my first run. And he gets like 6 hours, like 12...
30 something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got
he
like-
did another.
Yeah, he got like 6.5 hours, and then his second run was like the run at the time. It was like 6, what was it again?
616, I think.
Yeah. And he trained like 2 weeks for it. And just completely blew everyone out of the water because it was the first run with Tingle Tuner. And then Kafty came along and he did a run on the Japanese version that was faster than it, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was, he got down to 603 without the tuner.
Wow.
Wow.
That's ridiculous, actually. So yeah, both Cosmo and Kafty picked up the game, and Cosmo is now the go-to guy because he's amazing, and we love Cosmo.
Yeah, Cosmo's making it mainstream accidentally.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of people like talk to me. They're like, "Hey, I want to learn this game now." So that's actually kind of cool. But like, a lot of them are in like planning stages. I don't see people actually doing runs yet, but
Yeah,
maybe that'll happen.
it's quite got to sort of make a commitment to it because it's quite a lot. But it's funny
Yeah, it's a
how
lot to learn.
what was it like this time last year? Wind Waker was the biggest like joke in Zelda runs, next to like all masked Majora's Mask runs. It would be like, "Oh, you'll run Wind Waker, ha ha ha!" Just hours of failing, and,
Yeah,
and
That was
now it's like the
That's
complete
nice.
opposite. Everybody wants to watch Wind Waker runs because they're so cool.
Mhm.
It's quite. I think it's
yeah. I
hilarious.
don't know. Like, there is a lot of downtime, but like, it's such a fun game to play, and like all the action is really good, and all the sequence breaks are really crazy, and I don't know. It's just like fun to watch. I think.
Yeah.
It has this graphical style of any Zelda game.
And it's the graphics. Cosmo's stream looks
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. Like all
Yeah.
the background art on that, and it's all just from Wind Waker. Like, it's sweet. So, records. Let's move into records. We sort of mentioned one of those from Kafta.
Right, so there's kind of like the Japanese and English and tuner and no tuner. So that creates a total of like 4 any percent categories. And my current best time, which is on English with the Tingle Tuner, is 5:27:59, which I got this week. And I'm going to be trying to improve that. Before I had the Tingle Tuner, I got it down to 6:13 without the Tingle Tuner. I could get it lower without the tuner now with some new strats, but I'm not too interested in that category. So I'm just working on the run with the Tingle Tuner, and I'm sure we'll explain more about the Tingle Tuner later.
You better, because I have no
yeah.
idea what it does.
Yeah, and the Japanese version, Kaft has both the records for those. He just got a 546 recently.
Yeah,
on the
last week.
Japanese version with the tuner, yeah. And before that, he had the 603 without the tuner. So those are all good times, and those are all kind of any percent, just different variations. There's also, I guess, 100%. There's like Theoradel has been doing like a segmented 100% forever, and
Yeah, he's
I
on
think
his last segment right now.
yeah, it's like right at the end, so that's almost done. And I think Elm did a run as well a while back, but people are kind of talking about the definition of what 100% should be in the game, because like Like, you could include the figurines, and that would take way too long, and no one wants to do that. So no one does that. But I think the big thing in question is, like, should you get all the treasure charts because they appear on the second page of your pause menu? I don't think any of the 100% runs that have been done so far actually get treasure charts. Only the heart pieces and like all the first page pause item stuff, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know if it should count or not, but it seems like the people who actually do 100% do not get the treasure charts.
Now, does it require skill? Is there any sort of technique to doing it quickly, or is it just like more fetch tasks to do?
I think the hardest part would be getting a really solid route, just because it's so much stuff and it's like all over the place.
The
yeah,
challenge
like
is-
yeah, like I don't know. I think you could improve like if you do a 100% run, you could probably improve it by like an hour. Like like the next time you do the run, just because like it's so long. There's so much stuff in it.
Yeah.
But it seems like not many people are interested in 100%.
Well, they got to start with any percent first. I mean,
Yeah. It was interesting. Goron guy was like, "I'm gonna learn 100% Wind Waker," and I was like, "Really? But you're doing that before any percent?" But I don't know. Some people just
Then-
want to do that, I guess.
then he knows everything, so when he goes down to any percent, it'll be really easy.
Yes, perhaps. Perhaps.
Yeah.
He totally won't start doing 100% stuff and not realize. That never happens.
Of course not.
And then we've got runners. We've got a little list of runners here. We've mentioned most of these already. So there's Cosmo, obviously.
Yep.
Annie Meowsles. There's too many Zs there, Annie.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Annie do runs again, because
Yeah, I'd like to get into runs again.
This is the whole reason you invited him to the show. You know the effect we have on people who are on our show. The guests, they get this surge of motivation and fame.
We call it the Bablo effect.
Yeah, the Bablo effect.
Except he's gone now. Diablo 3 destroyed his soul.
No,
Oh,
he's,
no.
he's about. He's doing
is?
stuff. Don't worry about it. Don't
Okay,
worry
good.
about it. It's the Bablo effect, so expect to see Annie. His only
Yeah.
excuse at the moment is that he doesn't have a GBA cable.
Yeah, I could do no tuner, but I really want a Game Boy Advance cable because meshing is my specialty.
Oh yeah, Annie can mesh
Yeah.
really fast, so.
Yeah.
Let's see, Caft, like I said, he runs the game. Samurai Man, he ran the game until his GameCube controller broke, and he's getting a new controller soon. In the meantime, he's been running like Skyward Sword and Majora's Mask and all sorts of different Zelda games. The man is a machine. There's Mug, he mostly finds stuff, but he did a run that was, I think, a low 7-hour run. And there's a few other people, but no one's taken it too seriously yet, except for the people we just mentioned.
The thing I have noticed with it is, since you stopped running Ocarina of Time, people have spread out to other Zelda games. Like, they've all gone away, and they'll probably come back as soon as you go back to doing MST attempts. Like, we
Yeah, it's
suddenly...
actually really weird. Like, okay, the wrong warps and the cutscene skips were found, and like ZFG got a really good 90%, and then everyone was like, "All right, let's go play Majora's Mask or something." And I went to Wind Waker. I don't know why. I just picked Wind Waker, and I just started playing it because I felt like it, and then I just kind of got addicted to it. But
That's how
Yeah.
it starts.
a lot of OOT people have scattered. I'm sure they'll be back at some point.
It's wrong warp. I think that just sort of burned them out a little bit. But yeah, we've got runs in all sorts of games now. It's pretty sweet. And then, so talk to us a little bit about the categories, because English-Japanese is something that really confused, or is
Right,
confusing
okay.
me a lot.
So, Dark Eye, who's a really nice guy, he went through and timed all the text in any percent,
Wow.
which is a huge task, and it
Wow.
turns out,
dang.
just like the other Zelda games, there's a huge difference in the time. 19 minutes seems to be what the difference is between English
What?
and Japanese. So that's quite a lot. But
Man.
there's actually version differences in the game that like change how the run works. And let me kind of explain that. So at the beginning of the game, right at the beginning, on English, I go under Grandma's house and steal her life savings, which is 100 rupees. And
She wouldn't have
That-
lasted very long on that anyway.
so that helps me out a lot. Like, I need a lot of rupees for using Tingle Tuner and also buying the sale, which costs 80 rupees. On the Japanese version, they moved around heart pieces and stuff. They're on different locations, and one of the heart pieces is under Grandma's house, so the 100 rupees aren't there anymore. So you start the game out, and you have to get a lot more rupees. So that's a big difference. So it takes a lot longer to get those rupees at the beginning. Another difference is that near the end of the game, the Triforce quest, you actually, there's this thing called the Golden Ship, and it's this little ship, it's colored gold, and you bomb it down, and then you dig up its treasure. And on the English version, you just get a Triforce chart. On the Japanese version, you just get a regular treasure chart, and it leads to another treasure chart, and that treasure chart leads to another one, and finally you get the Triforce chart. So you have to go through this whole chain of Triforce of treasure charts to get the Triforce chart. So that wastes a lot of time. Also, there's this thing called the Cabana Deed skip, which we'll be going over later, and on the Japanese version, it's harder, which is a problem because it's already the hardest trick in the entire run. And because of that, and okay, let me explain. It's okay, at the beginning of the game on Windfall, because you need a lot of rupees for the sale, what Kaft has been doing on the Japanese version is he's been doing this game with the little kids, which you have to do to get the Cabana Deed, to get into the Cabana legit. So he does not do the Cabana Deed skip. Instead, he does the game at the beginning, and you get 50 rupees for doing the game. So that helps him out and gives him a lot of rupees for the Tingle Tuner and also for buying the sale. But later on, he actually has to go and get the actual Cabana Deed and not skip it. But it should be possible to skip it on the Japanese version. It's just a lot harder. And with the rupee difference, it seems like it's not worth it to skip it. But I'm not sure. In addition to that, there's less rupees in the game in general on the Japanese version, but it doesn't matter that much because the place where you farm all the rupees for the end game is the same. It used to be you would farm this pillar. You would just break this pillar, and 100 rupees would come, or 101 rupees would come out, and you'd get all the rupees. You leave, and you come back, and you do it again, and you would do that until you get the 3,184 rupees that you need. It's a lot. So that used to be the way to do it, but recently, back when that was the main strat, on the Japanese version, he would farm the ghost ship by going down, killing all the enemies, climbing up, breaking all the pots, getting the 310 rupees there, and then saving and resetting, and then doing it again. And that wasn't too bad. It was probably a little bit slower, but it wasn't too bad. And then good old Mug realized you could just leaf pump across the ghost ship and not do any of the fights. And that's now the fastest way to get the rupees on both versions of the game. So the endgame rupees, the strat is now the same. So that's the same now. So that's not really a disadvantage anymore. Trying to think if there's any other differences. I think that's the main stuff for the English versus Japanese. So I think a Japanese run would be faster, but you have to do more stuff. And it's only faster because the text is faster. But it wouldn't be the whole 19 minutes. You would lose time from the other stuff. So it saves less than 19 minutes, but we're not sure how much because you have to go do that other stuff.
Wow.
So that's English versus Japanese, and then the other...
It's tuner versus no tuner now.
Yeah, Tingle Tuner versus no tuner.
Keep going.
So a lot of people are kind of confused, what is the Tingle Tuner and what the hell does it do? So the Tingle Tuner, it's an in-game item that looks like a Game Boy Advance, and you get it when you rescue Tingle. You have to rescue Tingle to beat the game no matter what, because you need to pay him off to get all the charts deciphered, and he won't be on his island unless you save him from the jail or whatever. So so you get the Tingle Tuner from him, and at first no one used it in any runs. We were just like, why would I use this thing? It's stupid. You have to connect, you actually have to buy the cable, connect the Game Boy Advance. You have to call him, which takes 30 seconds or whatever to call him. Yeah, so that wastes time.
Too busy to talk to you.
Yeah. So it takes a while to actually be able to use the Tingle Tuner. So it would only be worth it if it saved more than 30 seconds. And it costs rupees to use his items as well. So it's why would you use this? But there's actually several places where it saves a lot of time. And on the clip right now that you're watching is well timed. So there's this glitch called zombie hovering, where you die and then you can keep jump slashing in the air, and you have to basically mash the button as fast as you can, and you fly through the air. And you're dead while you're doing this. So when you touch the ground, you will die instantly. But with the Tingle Tuner, you can use Tingle to give you a red potion in mid-flight, and then it'll heal you, and then you'll be alive again, so you can walk around. So right now, in Dragon Roost Cavern, you see him flying up the wall. This is like in the first big main room, and there's like a second floor way up above. So I get all the way up to the second floor, and then I call Tingle to heal me, and then I'm healed. But it costs rupees, and I have to call Tingle. But it actually skips more than half the dungeon, so that's one of the big sequence breaks. And then, in addition for healing, he can also do a couple other things. You can get like damage and vulnerability, which is like worthless. You can get magic from him, which is also worthless. But one thing you can get is called a Tingle Balloon, and I think a lot of people don't even know about this, or like people who played Wind Waker casually, I don't think they even know like what a Tingle Balloon is. But basically, it's like hover boots from Ocarina of Time, except it lasts a full 5 seconds. So, it's like they purposely put it in to break the game. Like, why would you add
Yeah, like there's no reason to use it casually at all. So.
Yeah, there's no reason whatsoever to use it casually, but it can like break a bunch of stuff. So I guess they were just like, let's just put this in for the hell of it. Maybe people can have fun with it. And that's what we're doing. So that's actually used a few times. It used to never be used. Like Giano's run never used a Tingle Balloon. And that was the first run with the Tingle Tuner. It only used healing. But we found out there's different ways to do boss key skips that involve using the Tingle Tuner. And using the Tingle Balloon. So we use that now, and it's better.
So do you have your Game Boy plugged into like control slot 2?
Yep.
And you just like leave it on for a while?
Well, I basically just turn it on right before I need to use...
Alright.
I just actually use it, and then I leave it on until I need to turn it off. But when you save warp, it automatically turns off. So you have to like kind of plan it out. Because like you can't just leave it on the whole run. It'll go away. And then you have to call them again, which takes 30 seconds. So there's kind of like a thing like where if you save warp and it would save more than 30 seconds, it would be worth it. You know what I mean? It's like kind of confusing.
Right.
Like kind of route it out. So that's kind of the Tingle Tuner stuff. So Tingle Tuner enables a bunch of boss key skips basically, and skipping that huge room in Dragon Roost Cavern. That's what it's used for. You could skip the Wind Temple boss key without the Tingle Tuner, but it requires you to like break a pot with fairies in it, and the fairies are just kind of flying around, and then you die and you hover up there and then you land on the fairy.
It's not unreliable at all.
Probably not going to happen.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah, so yeah. So that's pretty much the difference. Because like people don't have the Game Boy Advance or they don't have the cable or whatever, and they still want to run the game. Then there's nothing wrong with that. They can just do it with no tuner, and that'll be their category.
They'll have to manipulate fairies.
I guess that would be the ultimate strat for no one's actually going to do it.
You still do organic skip with that.
How much of a time? Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was. How much time does it save, tuner?
Yeah, I was going to say how much the Tingle Tuner saves over time. Over the run.
That's actually hard to say. I haven't really thought about it too hard. Dragon Roost Cavern is probably more than 5 minutes. Yeah, probably like 6 minutes, I would say.
Wow.
I think.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes for Dragon Roost. For actually, I think that's just the first section. Well, no, it's less for the first section, and then not getting the boss key. Yeah, that's like 5 or 6 minutes. That's crazy.
Right, so, yeah, on the stream you're seeing the other use of it in Dragon Roost. I screwed this up really bad in my best run, which you're watching right now. This was the biggest mistake in the entire run, I think, screwing this up. I'm not sure if this is the one where I succeed. No, I fall, yeah. You can see I fall down.
I think you died twice, I think, before you get it.
Yeah, it was definitely the biggest mistake, and it was right at the beginning, too, so I was just like, screw this trick, it's too inconsistent, I'll just keep going, because I don't care, and then I just like play really well in the second half, so that was...
I've watched this for about 3-4 minutes the first time I saw you get here. And
I see you, yeah.
I just like picking up pots, putting down pots, and I'm like, okay, what's he trying to do? And I assume he's trying to clip through the wall, but it just wasn't happening. So
yeah, just recently we figured out how to make this consistent, so I'm really happy about that. It ended with like the angle you face when you put the pot down. It's like really subtle, but It's pretty consistent now. But yeah, so when I clip through this wall, there happens to be like a sliver of ground. It's like so small, it's unbelievable. I don't even know why it's there, but there's this small sliver of ground you can stand on. And if you're standing on it, then you can use the Tingle Balloon to get to the boss room. See, I fall down there twice. That was such a mistake. Like, every time I do a run from now on, I'm going to be way ahead at this part. But, yeah, so once you're standing on that out-of-bounds section, you can use the Tingle Balloon to get to the boss room. It's interesting how the boss, behind the boss door is how it works in Zelda. Instead of the door, like opening the door, taking you to a new area, there's just like a piece of ground after the door, and when Link steps on that, it loads the next area, so you don't have to open the door. And it's like that in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. It's just really weird, I don't know.
You have to actually land on something in those games?
No.
Just
I thought
about.
you just jumped like way behind the door and...
No, there's like a bit of ground. You have to.
Yeah, there's like a plane of ground behind the thing, so
You got it.
you just have to touch it.
All right, Annie, do you want to talk about these general techniques? We got a little section here. I think
General
you should know about
techniques.
these.
Yeah, we have rolling, which is a very fast thing to do. You push A and you roll forward. And yeah, it's heavily used. I think you use it everywhere. Then there's cell pumping, where how do I explain this? When you initially pull out your sail, when you're sailing, you get this like little boost of speed, and then you go at a pretty consistent speed. You get this boost in a pretty wide range. So if you take it out, then put it back, take it back out, pull it back, you get this initial boost of speed every time. And so basically your mask is going like up and down, and it looks really silly, but it's faster, I promise you. Then there's leaf pumping, where it's the same exact principle for sailing, but you use your Deku Leaf instead, and it maintains height, but you use use more magic than you would if you were to just go normally. Jump slashing up ledges just skips the climbing animation if you can jump up high enough. And let's see, we also have side hopping with the iron boots. If people don't know, iron boots are very slow, and you walk very slow. And if you side hop, you actually go a bit faster, so it's good to side hop. And yeah, that is a good example of leaf pumping. You normally cannot get up there without doing so, and so it saves a couple seconds, and then you use it in the ghost ship to do rupee farming now, and it's a good technique, and I suggest everybody use it in their run.
I'm like pretty bad at it. I don't like lately. I've been failing
it's
it.
harder than like, because you have to pull out your leaf at like a specific time, like after you put it away.
Yeah, sometimes I try to do it too early, and then I just fall, and it's like the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, that's me when I try to do the flower skip for Forbidden Woods.
Oh right, yeah.
I can't do that because I don't know how to leaf pump at all. And that is the general speedrunning techniques, and then there's just huge like tricks and strategies, which I think Cosmo would know more about than I would.
So this is clever.
Yeah.
This is me being clever because I thought Annie knows these ones. Then Cosmo can do the next ones. I
Yep.
thought about it. I thought about it, Annie. If there's any of these you know about, you can interject, because then we get a variety of voices. It's pretty cool. Feasel, if you know about any of these too, just hop in.
Sure, but I don't.
Right.
I was gonna. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna jump in, but if you're gonna say something.
Well, I noticed the note next to the sail pumping. It's pointing out that the wind direction doesn't need to be as good anymore with the sail pumping.
Right.
Is
Okay.
that-
Yeah. So if you if the wind direction is like, it can be like 90 degrees off, and usually if you're sailing 90 degrees off of the wind, you barely go anywhere. Like you go really slow, pretty much. But if
Right.
you're sail pumping, the boosts is like still affecting you like pretty heavily. I think it's like very slightly slower, but
Yeah,
it's like almost on par with having perfect wind. So it's like pretty good.
I see, so you don't have to change wind direction.
Yeah,
glad
it
you
lets
said
you
the
not
wind
change the wind
is
nearly as much, so you can just save all those little cutscenes.
Okay, I was wondering about that. All right.
were you gonna say something?
Yeah, no, I was just referring to what's going on in the video right now. I was just saying that I'm kind of happy that you put that back into the run after you started using Tingle Balloon.
Right. Okay. Yeah. This skip right here. It's another zombie hover where I heal. This skips a small key in the Forbidden Woods because you get up to this door from the wrong side. You're supposed to come in from the other side. And I initially did not do it in the run because I would have to call Tingle again, which takes 30 seconds. And if I don't call Tingle, if I don't save warp, then it would waste a bunch of time. But we found a new way to get into Forbidden Woods using a Tingle Balloon, where I don't have to change the wind. And that's really fast. And it lets me keep Tingle because I don't save warp, which turns off the GBA, or like resets or whatever. So now I can use that hover in that dungeon, which skips the small key. Like, I thought it might be like maybe 5 seconds faster or something, but it's like way faster now that we don't have to call Tingle again. So that's pretty cool. Oh, this fight was terrible.
It's cool.
So
you can
bad.
You can
We're just
distract
trying to
them.
motivate you
Yeah.
to crush the record after the show.
This is how
Yeah.
we do it. This is how it works.
There's actually
getting
some
a one cycle is so
there's some
hard.
new strats for this guy pretty recently that I haven't practiced yet, so I'll work on that. But anyway, we're going into like the
Yeah, we're
different
going
types
into this big long list of stuff.
right. So I mean, you've seen some of them, but one of them is called Wind Waker diving. I don't know if we have a clip or if we can like jump to it, but basically there's like certain slopes in the game that are a certain like the slope is a certain angle, and if you walk out onto the slope and you pull the Wind Waker at the right time, you'll just fall all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. And so you pull out the Wind Waker and you fall way under the island, like way underneath it. And then you swim underneath the wall that was blocking you, and then you're inside of the island. And then you swim to water that's like higher up, and the water like carries you all the way to the top. So that actually saves time entering Forest Haven. And you can do it again at Forsaken Fortress. The second time you go there, there's like this little rock, and you get on the rock, and then you dive underneath Forsaken Fortress. Then you swim to the trigger that makes Phantom Ganon appear, and then you just pop up into the Phantom Ganon cutscene. And that lets you skip blowing down the wall, and it also skips another cutscene when you first enter the place. So it doesn't save much time, but it's a nice little trick. It saves like a little bit of time, and it's pretty interesting to see. There's something similar in Ocarina of Time where you pull the ocarina when you step on a slippery slope. It's like the exact same thing. We were talking about Tingle Balloons. I think we've talked about that a lot. They're basically hover boots, 5 seconds, where you can just like walk on air. Breaks the game a little bit. It's pretty interesting. It costs 30 rupees every time you do it, and you need Tingle active, so it's not that useful, but it is used a couple times. One interesting thing about the Tingle Balloon is with the Earth Temple boss key skip, because originally Paraxade found this method where you have to like leaf pump like ridiculous, like you have to leaf pump so hard, and you have to do them like really perfectly. And I'm not that great at leaf pumping. And in addition to that, you have to have Tingle fill up your magic mid-leaf pump because you run out because you leaf pump too hard. And at the end of it, you have to have a Tingle bomb hit Link out of his leaf to knock him into the boss room. And it's like, it seems so hard and like not doable, but it would skip like 5 minutes. So it's like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? And then the Great Mug comes to the rescue and finds a place you can stand out of bounds. And we can just use a Tingle Balloon there. And then I realized from the Tingle Balloon, if you do a grounded jump slash, that lets you get a lot of height really fast, and it gets you just enough to get up into the boss door. So that was cool. So now it's actually like pretty feasible to do in a run, and I do that in my recent runs. So that's like Tingle Balloon to the rescue and Mug to the rescue.
Mug sounds like your guardian angel of just making...
Yeah,
oh,
he's
hey, you
found-
don't like this? Don't worry. I got a better way. Here you go.
Absolutely. So yeah, the boss key skips, I just talked about the Earth Temple one. The Wind Temple one is you hover up to a door and then you ledge clip. We'll talk about ledge clipping in a minute. And there actually is a boss key skip for the Forbidden Woods, but it's like paradoxical because, okay, the only way to do it is if you get Forest Water and then have the timer run out when you pull the Wind Waker, which is really hard, and that's how I do Cabana Deed skip. Some people know about that already, but the thing is, the Forest Water is on a 20-minute timer, and you can get it when you first reach the Forest Haven. But if you get it as soon as you can, and then you go up to the Forbidden Woods and you do the dungeon, and you get up to the point where you're at the boss door, you would have to wait like another 10 minutes for the water to expire, and then you could skip the boss key. So it's actually faster just to get the boss key. So that's kind of funny, but it doesn't really work out. I'm actually glad, though, because using the forest water to do that kind of stuff is really hard, and I'm glad I only have to do it once in the run, because it's like one frame and you have no frame of reference. Let's see, zombie hovering. So we talked about this a little bit again. You can do zombie hovering without the Tingle Tuner. I just want to make that clear. You can do it. The only thing the Tingle Tuner is used for is for healing you, because you will die afterwards. There's like one place in the game where it's okay to die afterwards, and that's at Forsaken Fortress 2, when you're fighting the Helmrock King. You can just skip the entire fight by just hovering all the way to the loading zone, because it takes you into a cutscene, and you're dead in the cutscene. And you're still dead, and you're watching all the cutscenes, and you're dead, and then the cutscene's finally over, and then Link dies. But it's okay, because he's in the next area, and so you just have to sit through the game over screen, and you can continue onward without fighting the boss. And it's actually really good that you can do that, because you can't actually use the Tingle Tuner in rooms without maps, and that includes all boss rooms. So that's one place where I don't use the Tingle Tuner, but I do use zombie hovering. And runs that don't have the Tingle Tuner can still do that hover. That's the only hover they can really do, unless you want to try to get really lucky with the Earth Temple boss key skip. There was an old Dragon Roost Cavern boss key skip where you hovered on top of the boss door, and like the collision up there is really glitchy because you're like not supposed to stand up there. It's like really random, and there was some weird way to like get out of bounds up there, but it's kind of hard and confusing, and I didn't like it. So I'm glad we found the new one. So those are pretty much all the zombie hovers in the run. The small key skip, the big hover in Dragon Roost, the old boss key skip that's not used anymore, the Helmrock King skip, and the Wind Temple boss key skip. So I was mentioning Forest Water, and Forest Water is really crazy. It's supposed to be used just for a side quest. You just get the Forest Water, and you have 20 minutes to go heal these little guys, and you get a heart piece. But there's some crazy glitch with it, where after the 20 minutes are up and you pull the Wind Waker on the frame that the Forest Water expires, on the exact frame, it like screws up the game a lot. I don't really know how to describe all the effects, but basically like the next action you do will be stored. So like if you try to open a door, that'll be stored. If you try to like talk to someone, that'll be stored. And you can like cancel animations by clearing text boxes that you stored. So you like talk to somebody and you have text stored, and then you go do something like open a treasure chest, and then you cancel the chest opening animation by canceling the text.
It's a very complicated way to save a few seconds on a chest.
Yeah, that's
weird. So that all sounds very useless and silly, but it's actually used for this thing called the Cabana Deed skip. So you skip getting the Cabana Deed, and the whole reason you even have to get into the Cabana is to get one of the Triforce charts. And it's required to beat the game currently. Who knows what happens if you...
Right, currently.
Keyword currently then.
Yeah.
But the only way in is to go do that game on Windfall that I mentioned earlier and get 21 joy pendants, and you can farm those off of enemies, and it takes a while. And skipping the Cabana Deed is pretty cool because you don't have to do any of that. But to skip it, you need to get the Forest Water, do the one-frame Wind Waker pull when it expires, and then talk to the King of Red Lion so you have his text stored. You go up to a treasure chest, you open the chest, but right before you open the chest, you pull out the Wind Waker, which causes the text to appear on screen. Then as the text is going, you open the treasure chest, you cancel the text, which also cancels the treasure chest opening, and then you're in this thing I like to call the Silent Realm, where there's no sound playing except for like rupee noises or like hookshot noises and stuff. It's like really bizarre. Like there's no sound whatsoever. And Link can like partially walk through walls, but not all the way. And you can partially walk through the cabana wall and shoot a tree on the other side with your hookshot. And so what you do is you put a bomb down, and then you put a bomb down the moment your heart beeps, and then 7 heart beeps later, you shoot the hookshot through the wall, hit the tree, and then the bomb knocks you off the hookshot into the loading zone for the cabana, and that skips the cabana deed. But it's like the hardest thing in the run by far, and it's ridiculous.
It looks really cool. I like that one. I like how you use. Sorry, I like how you use the heart beeping to time it. That's really clever.
Yeah.
So this is
Right, so
what
you're-
happens, because you stream when it's evening here, so I never get to see all these cool skips at the end. Oh, I get to see it now. Oh, sweet. Okay.
This is really wacky. So I'm putting the bomb down on the beep of the heart, and 7 beeps later I shoot the hookshot, and it's ridiculously hard to time. I think it's a 2-frame window for this, and if you go early, you have to just go back. And it's funny too. Part of the effect of being in the silent realm, as I like to call it, is you can walk up trees. So like if I fail, I can walk up the tree and backflip off it like the Matrix.
It did look pretty sweet. I didn't think you could do that normally, but who am I to say what you can do?
Right. So I think. Oh yeah, there it is. So I got in and on the side, and that skips the cabana deed, and it's the hardest thing in the run by far. The Wind Waker pull is 1 frame, the hookshot is 2 frames, and you have like no frame of reference for the Wind Waker pull. You just have to like beast it. And the hookshot, you can use the hearts, but I mean a 2-frame window based off the little heart animation it's not like that good of a visual cue, so I tend to miss it a lot. It's just something that is always going to be a problem, I think. It's interesting though that instead of canceling a chest opening, if you cancel opening a door, you can walk through all walls fully in the entire game. But your entire screen turns white and you can't see anything. But when you pause, you can see the screen for 1 frame. So you can pause and then move around and like, I don't know, it's really silly. But the problem is there's no doors nearby the cabana except the cabana door itself. But the cabana door itself is like a different type of door, so it doesn't work. So you can't actually use that method. That was going to be the method for the password skip, which I'll talk about in a minute, because Abba Bob found out that you could skip the password just by walking straight through the door. If you do that, if you white out your screen by canceling opening a different door. But the problem is, right after that, Clyde Storm found a ledge clip, which lets you just do it, which is good because the 1-frame Wind Waker pull is a pain in the ass.
A while ago, probably like 5 minutes ago, there was a skip where you just like slowly creeped along the wall,
Yeah,
clear through this.
you just sort of went behind the rock, as
Yeah.
if like that was perfectly normal. Link was like
I thought it
hiding.
was hilarious. You're just like, oh, don't mind me.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I'm not here. Ooh.
Yeah, that one looks really funny. I love it.
Like Link's expression during the whole thing is perfect too, because he looks so sketchy.
He's just sneaking. That's all he's doing. He's just sneaking in. All right.
I love some of the breaks in this game.
Then there's a ledge clipping, which I've seen a whole load of, or a whole load
Yeah.
of attempts for.
So this is pretty much the best way to get out of bounds in this game. Basically, you can do it only when you're hanging onto a ledge and there's an object like right above where you would climb up. Some objects move automatically when you're hanging on the ledge, like bombs. Other objects, like a statue, does not move at all. So with statues, it's really easy. But with bombs, you have like a 2-frame window to actually try to move sideways, which will push you through the wall. Same with pots. Pots and bombs both move out of the way. So it's really the statue out of bounds is found like way early in the game's life, and you're gonna see that pretty soon on the video. This was like the first one found because the statue doesn't move, and all you have to do is like hang on the ledge, and it's pretty simple. But it wasn't even thought it was possible that you could do it with bombs or pots for a while, and then when people started really breaking the game down, people realized, hey, we can do it with this too, it's just a lot harder. So, right here in Tower of the Gods, I use the statue, I just put it up against the wall, and I hang on the ledge, and it lets me get out of bounds, and then I can get over to the 2nd floor without doing any of the 1st floor stuff, which is good. I really don't like the 1st floor of this dungeon. Oh, I screwed up in this run, I forgot, wow. Yeah, I could definitely save time there.
This is the best run.
Yeah. So, all the ledge clips in the game that are useful, let's see, we got in Dragoneer's Cavern with a pot to do the boss key skip. That was shown earlier. than the password skip that I was talking about. Usually you need the password to get into the ship, to get the bombs. But using a pot, you can clip through the wall and then leaf into the loading zone. And then right now you're seeing the Tower of the Gods break, where I got up to the 2nd floor. And there's also the Earth Temple boss key skip. You can use Medley for that, actually. You just put her on the ledge, and then you grab the thing and climb out, and that works pretty well. I'm trying to learn to do it with a bomb, because it would be a little bit faster to use a bomb there, but it's harder. It's harder mainly because there's no wall, like, to your left, so I'd have to backflip, and backflipping after I put a bomb down is kind of awkward, so I don't know, I'm trying to learn that. But that's another clip. And then finally the big one, of course, is the Wind Temple. You use it 3 different times. The Wind Temple route is really crazy in this game because of ledge clipping. Usually you go in and Makar gets captured, and then you go all the way around, you open up the bottom, you turn on like the fans, and you get the hook shot and stuff, and oh my god, it takes a while. And now what we do is there's a warp pot, and you can actually barely shoot it with a fire arrow. It's not like a glitch or anything, but you can shoot it with a fire arrow, and that skips going around. And then I open up the main floor, and there's a ledge there, and I can clip. And usually if you go to out of bounds rooms, like, you would just fall. Like, there's nothing there. But in the case of the mini boss room, there's actually a loading zone there. So
I'm sorry, he's sneaking behind the rock.
Yeah, it is really fun.
yeah.
What are you
Okay.
doing when you get to the other side there? You're rolling or something?
Yeah,
What do you-
rolling, just to get as much speed as possible. That's
Okay.
basically all it is.
Alright, carry on, I'm sorry. This happens at least once a week.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, you can get to the mini-boss early without the small key. Even though it's not a bounds room, you can get there because it has a loading zone. So it's, like, different from the other rooms. So that skips the small key. And then I can get the small key that was intended to be used for the mini-boss room and use it down below to get to the final part of the dungeon. And I never rescue Makar, I just leave him trapped forever because I can sneak past that rock like you just saw. I can just sneak past it. Usually I need Makar there to play the song, and it would break it down. And here's the boss key skip, which is the final thing. So I have to die, and then ledge clip at the top. And if I fail that ledge clip at the top, I fall down, and I have to die again to get back up there. So it wastes forever. And the problem is, I get the forest water before I even go into the dungeon. So the timer is ticking down, not just my speedrun time, but the forest water timer is ticking. So one mistake in the Wind Temple can like extrapolate on to the end of the run and screw up everything. So
Oh, man.
yeah, the end game route is really crazy because after you beat the Wind Temple, you just have to get all the Triforce charts, and it's really complicated to route it because like the wind is facing a certain direction, and you have certain warps, and they're in certain locations, and you need the ghost ship chart before you can even get to the to get into the ghost ship, and the ghost ship's only there at night. So there's all that, plus I have a timer ticking down because I have forest water, and I need to do the Cabana Deed skip when the forest water runs out. So in between the Wind Temple and the Cabana Deed skip, I have to get as much stuff as possible that's needed for the run, and then quick go over to the cabana, and then do the Cabana Deed skip. It's definitely the most complicated part of the game to route. Like, the beginning of the game is pretty linear. You just go from dungeon to dungeon, but after Wind Temple, it like really opens up, and it's really crazy. And it's really stressful too, because like you have a timer going down, and like everything has to line up perfectly. So it's pretty tricky.
Wow.
Also,
How long
the
is it for the
Savage,
forest water? Sorry, I forgot.
you get 20 minutes, but it's in game time, I guess. So it's like cutscenes don't count.
Okay.
Cutscenes don't count. Going through doors doesn't count. Anything that's not like actual gameplay does not count towards the timer.
Yeah,
All right. So it's 20 minutes before that message pops up,
yeah,
and you have to use the Wind Waker on the same frame that it pops up.
Yes.
yeah. Like, okay,
So-
I'll explain how that works. Like,
All right.
because it sounds impossible. Right?
Yeah,
Yes, mate,
it
this
does.
seems about the right time.
Now? Oh, good, got it.
So, basically, I save with 3 seconds left, and I really don't want to have to reload that save because that wastes like 30 seconds. But with 3 seconds left, I go 1, 2, 3, and I pull out the Wind Waker. And when the Wind Waker's out and like it's like fully out, like the in-game time's not passing, so the Force Water timer is paused. And what I do is I press B to stop playing the Wind Waker, and then I press it again, hopefully on the first possible frame that I can pull it back out again. And if I do that, every time I do that, only 1 frame should pass on the Force Water timer. So as long as I can do that 1 frame input like over and over and over and over and over, only 1 frame should pass on each one, and then it's just a matter of time before the right frame happens, and then I get it. But sadly, if I let 2 frames pass, there's like a 50% chance that I'll get it. If I let 3 frames pass, it's a 33% chance I'll get it, you know. And also, the real problem though is that if I press B and then I pull the Wind Waker too early, it'll just make an error noise because I'm not allowed to do it yet. So I have to react after that, because like I press the Wind Waker and I expect him to pull out the Wind Waker, and if he doesn't, I have to react and press it again, and I can drop like, I don't know, 10 frames right there. And if that happens, there's a really good chance that I'll miss it. So I basically just have to be like super focused and doing like this input over and over again, and hopefully I can get it. I mean, the last run I did, I think I failed it a few times, but I've got it first try and runs before. It just really sucks to have to reload. And if I'm not totally focused, and I mean, I'm not perfectly consistent either. It's just like my timing varies a little bit, so there's like a little bit of luck involved. It's not true luck, it's just my timing's not perfect.
Yeah, that trick sounds like a pain.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing in the run by far. And then
fantastic.
right after that, I have to use the hard beeps and get the 2-frame window to get into the cabana. So it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's in the whole cabana skip is that whole sequence, right?
Yeah.
So which part of that makes it the difficult part? Is it just everything is really hard?
It's just the 2 parts of it, and the first part's harder because it's a 1-frame window. The second part is a 2-frame window, so I guess it's twice as easy, I would say. I guess.
That's the right way of looking at it.
That's fair enough, yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, on both of them, you really don't have a frame of reference. Like, well, okay, you do on the first one, because I'm just trying to get it out on the first frame that I can, like, over and over and over, and hopefully it passes on the right frame. But for the second one, I have to use the hearts, and that's not that great of a reference. So in both cases, like, it's hard. It's, like, not really easy to time it.
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk about the Savage Labyrinth floor skips, which is really cool. Basically, you guys probably know about the Savage Labyrinth, even if you don't know about it. It's the place where you just go down and down and down.
It's the most fun part of the game.
You just fall through holes fighting enemies forever. And if you, okay, Mug found out this really smart skip. Basically, the fire rings in there, like, after you kill all the enemies, the fire ring goes down. And then you can go in the next hole. But Mug found out this really smart thing about it, where you hookshot the torch on the other side of the fire ring, and if you're still invincible because you took damage before, you'll still be invincible and you'll be standing in the fire ring, and then you'll just fall right through. So I'm about to do it in the clip here, and you'll see. It's kind of hard to do. You have to pull out the hookshot right away and immediately hook the right part of the torch, but it's definitely not like frame perfect or anything. It's definitely consistent. And one fun thing about it is you get knocked back less with the iron boots on. So I pull out the iron boots and let the fire knock me back just a little bit, and then I quick hookshot the torch and get through the hole. And it takes a lot of I take a lot of damage doing this, so that's why I get 4 hearts instead of 3. Because usually, well, okay, I guess I got 4 hearts before just for safety, but this is like a really good reason to get 4 hearts because I'm just taking a ton of damage here as I try to get through. And yeah, sometimes I fail it, but like even when I fail it a few times, it's faster on average for most floors. There's one floor where it's like not worth it, but it's pretty fun. I like that skip a lot because this place does take forever, and Flicky knows.
Yeah, it's I don't know what I've tried to watch Cosmo's stream of Wind Waker like a whole load of times, and I think I've watched like 4 hours of Savage Labyrinth. Just because whenever I turn it on, it's Savage Labyrinth. And I watch and I'm like, the first time I was like, oh, how much longer can this place start? And it turns out I started watching on the first floor.
How many floors are there?
There's 30 floors for the Triforce, and there's 50 floors if you want a heart piece. But what's really funny though, there's a really funny fact. On the Japanese version, you know there's a heart piece under Grandma's house now instead of the money. So that's the heart piece from the Savage Labyrinth. So on the Japanese version, if you do all 50 floors, there's a chest. There's a chest there. You open the chest, and it's a yellow rupee worth 10 rupees.
That's incredible.
So,
That is just mean, that is.
Surprised it's not bees or something.
It may as well be. I can imagine Japanese guys opening that and being like, what the fuck is
yeah,
this?
dude.
I would
It's
just
like the biggest
quit.
troll thing
I just-
anyone's ever done.
slap the disc in half and give up. Clearly they don't want me to actually put time into this game.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
They don't value your trust.
So, like, after you get all the Triforce charts and you decipher them, which takes 3,184 rupees, you have to go get the pieces. And we recently found out there's 4 sets of pieces. They're, like, in random positions, but not actually random. There's, like, 4 different possibilities for each one. But if it's in, like, slot 1 for one island, it's going to be in slot 1 for all the islands. If it's in slot 3 for that island, it's in slot 3 for all the islands. So that's pretty interesting. I think most of this... Yeah, I think most of the sets are all pretty even in how fast you can get them. There's like a few, like on Outset Island, there's one that's like way behind the island, and then there's like one that's way in front of the island. So the one in front is like way faster. But if you get the one in front, then the one on Great Fish is like behind the island, so you like waste time. So it pretty much evens out. I don't mind actually going and fishing up all the pieces because you have to watch out for enemies, and you have to like go fast. Otherwise you're going to get hit off the boat and stuff. So it's actually kind of an interesting part of the game. I don't mind playing it. A lot of people have problems with it though, playing it casually because it takes a long time. It takes about 15 minutes in the speedrun.
Just to interject with something completely not important, what's the name of the boat again?
King of Red Lions. We call him Coral. It's like an abbreviation.
Oh, it's cute.
That's a nice name.
It's cute.
It is, Coral. That's a nice name.
It's adorable.
It's a good name
Yeah.
for a cat, isn't it, Annie? Much better than Skylar.
Yeah. They named cat. I would call my cat Coral.
Definitely. So that's
So-
what we like to do, is interject with an in-joke from before the show was on.
Very nice.
Genius.
Let's see. Something about fighting that's pretty cool is like if you freeze something with an ice arrow and you use the hammer, it's like a one-hit kill no matter what it is. So like on Darknuts, which take a while to kill, you can knock off their helmet with the parry and then shoot them in the head and then just swing the hammer and they're dead. You can also knock off their chest armor and then first-person view the arrow and then quickly do a hammer, but it's harder. There's one part where you have to fight 4 of them at once, and that gets pretty messy, and I'm still kind of working on strats for that, but I think spamming quick spins with the soup would be best. And we haven't talked about the soup at all yet.
Yeah, the
That's
chat
fun.
wanted to know about the
Yeah.
soup glitch.
There's one thing
Talked
before you get
briefly
into
about it
soup.
in the chat.
Yeah. Before you get into soup, I just want to ask this because I mean, the games I play, combat's like the main part of running it. So I'm guessing there's like a fastest way to kill every enemy. Like, how easy is the combat in
Yeah.
this?
Okay, the combat in this game is actually, I think, pretty interesting. In Ocarina of Time, because that's what I played a lot before this, you would do power crouch stabs on like everything, and you would just spam them everywhere
Yeah.
all the time on every enemy in the game. And in
And
this
that's-
game, it's not really like that. Like, there's not like one strat for everything. For a lot of like the weaker enemies, you just memorize how many hits it takes, and then you finish with a quick spin, which does double damage. So you do one quick spin, and then it'll kill them, instead of doing the full attack chain, because you do like this whole thing where you attack like 4 times, then you're done, and then you knock them to the floor, and then they have to get off the floor, and then they have like a billion frames of invincibility as they get off the floor. So you don't want to knock anything down. You want everything to be standing up.
Well, that's classic beat 'em up type strategies. I mean, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and for some enemies, like for the moblins, I like using the boomerang, and then that stuns them. And then I do one slash and a quick spin, and that'll kill them with the Master Sword with soup. For the Dark Nuts, it depends. For certain ones, I like to quick spin off their armor if I have soup on. Otherwise, I'll just try to parry and then Ice Arrow and then kill them with the hammer. So it kind of depends on the situation. One of the most tricky enemies to kill is the Stalfos. They are... Okay, it's really interesting. If you blow them up with a bomb, it takes them to the last part where they're just a bouncing head, and they bounce all around. And then you stun the head with the boomerang, and then you crush the head with the hammer. So you drop a bomb, hit him with the boomerang, then hit him with the hammer. So that's one of the more interesting enemies to fight. Another thing about the boomerang in this game is it's like ridiculously powerful. You can like attack really fast with it, and it kills P-hats really fast, and it kills all sorts of enemies like really fast. So it's really nice to use that, especially because the arrow count in the game. I try to replenish my arrows pretty often, but sometimes I'm low, and it's nice to use the boomerang as a replacement for arrows, which works good on like bats and weaker enemies. There's also these enemies called mini-blins, which are like, they make these really funny noises and dance around, and then they try to poke you with their little stick, and if they hit you, it does a quarter heart, and they laugh at you. And they die in one hit, and if you use the hammer on them, you hit them like a baseball bat and knock them out of the park. So, I don't know, like, it's pretty funny. But
I was going to say, do you brutally murder them as your response?
Yeah, like when you fight those guys in the Savage Labyrinth, it's really interesting. They spawn based on what you're not looking at. So I zoom the camera in really, really close to Link, and then just spin it around, and then like all of them spawn at once, and then I just like kill them really fast. So that's that. And then also there's the little lava worms. I forgot their proper name. Annie might know.
Make something up.
They're...
Go on, Annie. Go. Annie, go,
Is it
go.
Magtails? Is that it?
Yeah, Magtails, thank you.
Oh, why are you even
I
here?
almost had it, man.
Why are you even here, dude? Get out.
That's a good question.
Right, so those get killed by the parry, which is kind of unique. Oh, you're seeing the trial skip on the stream. So the trial skip, this is... So after you get all the Triforce charts and you go down to Hyrule, the trials are like... They're like Ocarina of Time trials, where you have like a couple rooms and then you have the end of the trial. But in this game, you have to actually fight a boss. It's a rematch of the previous bosses, so you have to do boss refights, which takes a while. Paraxade also found the trial skip, where how it was originally found was one of the coolest sequence breaks of all time, but now we just ledge clip with a bomb. But how it was originally found was you would... Okay, there's like a little enemy, like a bokoblin, sitting down there near the door, and you leap over on top of the door, which you're not supposed to do, and then you hook shot the enemy, and he comes up on top of the door with you, and then you freeze him with an ice arrow. So now he's a frozen solid object. You pick him up, and you put him down at the edge of the door, and then you jump off. You leaf around, you grab the ledge, then you ledge clip off of it before he breaks out of the ice. And then from there, you fall out of bounds, and you leaf over to the loading zone. So that was like one of the coolest sequence breaks ever, probably. But
That's genius.
now we just use a bomb, so it's not as cool looking, but still cool. So what you're seeing right now is getting the light arrows and then fighting Phantom Ganon for the last time. What I like to happen here is I like him to spawn around me in a big circle, because he only needs one hit in this fight. And if he spawns around you and there's a ton of them, you just do one spin attack and he goes down really fast. But I mean, that's fine too, which just happened in the video. The end part of this game, you go up and then you fight Puppet Ganon, and there's some stuff about Puppet Ganon.
Is there really?
Yeah, alright, so he's like the biggest troll in the game, the first phase of him. There's 3 different strategies. Basically, the first strategy is you throw the boomerang and knock off his tail, then shoot him with light arrows, and that's what I do. It's the most consistent strategy, but it's also the slowest. And the other 2 strategies seem not worth it. The next strategy, I have to give credit to Samurai Man for this one. He just snipes the tail. He doesn't even throw the boomerang, but the tail's like bouncing around all over the place, and like it's like so far away, and he like blocks your shots all the time. I don't think it's very consistent, but I've seen Samurai Man get some really good shots, and it's like really awesome when you do it, so that's cool. The third way is to skip the fight entirely, and to skip the fight entirely, it wouldn't really be a problem, except you can't use Tingle in here, because it's a boss room or a room without a map. So you can't heal with a hover. So the way you would skip this is you would start a hover, and you would mash as fast as you can. But the problem is every minute keys fly down and they knock you out of the sky. So you have to kill the keys, and then after you kill the keys, immediately start the hover, immediately mash as fast as you can, barely make it up there before the keys hit you, and then as the keys are hitting you like down, they hit you onto like the platform that's up there instead of all the way back down. And after you get knocked down again, you start another hover, like from getting knocked down by the keys. So you have like a small frame window to do that. And then as you start the other hover, you hover as high as you can, you pull out a bomb, and then you pull out the leaf to drop it, and then you start hovering again. And you have to do that really fast. And if you do that, then you can drop a bomb while you're hovering. And then the bomb's sitting there, and then the bomb has to hit the keys. And if the bomb hits the keys, it kills the keys, and the keys dies. The keys has to drop a heart, and the heart has to land directly below you, and then you land on the heart, and then you're healed, and you can go up and skip the fight. But it's basically not going to be happening in any run anytime soon, unless you do like a segmented run, and then...
well, I mean, how far into a run is this?
This is the grand finale.
I mean, it's not that bad. You should try it.
So
it's only 5 hours, 20 minutes in.
I did spend a day trying to do it, and I was able to not get knocked all the way down by the keys. So I was able to get knocked onto the floor, but it basically killed my arm, and it's just not, no one's ever going to do it in a full run. It's never going to happen. A segmented run might do it.
So what happens if you fail it?
You would just waste
Just lose
a
some time.
ridiculous amount of time, yeah.
So is this going to be $10,000 for the marathon to do it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I will assist you.
Yeah, Andy can tag team it with you.
It tag team it. Alright. Okay, do you want to quickly go over some of this task stuff, but we also need soup apparently, don't we?
Oh my god, I can't believe we never
Chef
talked about
demands
this.
soup.
Well, okay, so you get soup from Grandma by giving her a fairy. I get the fairy in Forbidden Woods at the end of the dungeon. And then when I give Grandma the fairy, she gives you soup, and you can get infinite refills by going to talk to her, and you can drink it twice before it's gone. But there's a glitch where you can drink it infinite times before it's gone, where you try to drink it and you pause right after, and then you just switch the item out, and it won't decrement the soup, so you can just keep using it. So I get the soup from Grandma, and then I keep all the way until right before Wind Temple, where I drink it fully, and then I get the forest water, because I only have one bottle. Then I go through the Wind Temple without soup. Then I keep the forest water until I do Cabana Deed skip, and then right before Savage Labyrinth, I get soup again. And that seems
like a fantastic day out.
It seems like soup would be slow doing that, having to get it twice, but it's 4 minutes faster than getting the Cabana Deed normally. And you need soup for the end of the game because you need more magic to do the trial skip. You just don't have enough magic, and double magic takes too long, and getting a second bottle is probably not worth it either. So I just drink the soup and then get another refill before Savage Labyrinth. It seems like the best strategy. Maybe there's some other way to do it. There hasn't been that much like in-depth late-game route planning. I've just kind of came up with my own route. There's been many iterations of it, but maybe there's a better way to do it.
I really like that in Ocarina of Time, you use a bottle to do whatever you want. In this game, you use a bottle to eat soup.
Yeah.
It still bugs me that this bottle is still a jar. It's not a bottle.
Sure it is.
Shh, it's not. It's totally not. I'm sure you've drunk enough things from a jar, PJ, to know what a jar looks like.
Well, at that point, it looks like a bottle.
So good. Alright, so task stuff. There's a bunch of... Yeah, I'm dreading of what this actually is, because most of the normal tricks in this game are pretty dumb anyway.
Okay, this game actually has some really interesting TAS stuff. Alright, so Dungeon TASs. Mug actually did a couple of these. He did Forbidden Woods and Tower of the Gods. Forbidden Woods, he had bombs, which you don't actually have in a normal run. But he got them early using TAS-only strategies, which I'll explain in 1 second. But Forbidden Woods with the bomb, you can just blow up all the doors. You don't need the boomerang. So I think the TAS is considering skipping the boomerang entirely. I'm not actually sure, though. They might need it near the end to skip light arrows, but that's still kind of up in the air, I think. The awesome TAS that I really liked was the Tower of the Gods one. There's no like weird items that you have early, so it's basically just like a perfect run of the dungeon, and it uses a lot of really cool tricks where you jump on the very side of the room while holding the statue. I actually found that, but the TAS uses it in this one room. It has to do it twice, and it's like I don't use it in my run. It's too hard to do, and it's too slow for me. But the TAS can do it, and it's cool to watch. Also, the TAS side hops while carrying objects, which is faster than walking. But it's too hard to, like... It's the same as Ocarina of Time. Like, people backwalk all the time because it's like... well, it's like pretty much the same speed, but what I'm really trying to say is that people roll a lot in Ocarina of Time because getting the perfect angle for every side hop is, like... It's not realistic. So a lot of the times rolling's better even though it's slower. But in this game, rolling is simply faster. But if you're carrying an object, side hopping is faster. But only the TAS can like really take advantage of it because the angle's too hard to get perfectly. So I just walk with stuff, which is a little bit slower, but I can't really make it consistent side hopping. So that's pretty much the Tower of the Gods TAS. Oh, he also mauls the boss pretty good, which is pretty cool to watch because it's all manual aiming instead of targeted aiming. But the big TAS thing, alright, here we go. There's this thing called super swimming. It's like BLJ in Super Mario 64, kind of. Except you can do it anywhere in the water. You just do it anywhere in the water, and you can, basically you press one direction on one frame on the control stick, and on the next frame you press the completely opposite direction. And if you do that repeatedly for a long time, Link just gains ridiculous amounts of backwards speed, and it does not cap. So you just swim, boom, and you like shoot off across the ocean.
It's a good way to describe it.
And Baba Bob did some early game TASs of like what the route might be, and so he like goes and gets rupees from Grandma's house. It looks pretty normal, and then he just super swims all the way to Great Fish, and he goes and gets bombs. It's like okay. So in the TAS, Link will not get the pajama, or he will not get the full clothes. He'll be in the pajamas the whole time, even though it's New Game. Usually that's only New Game Plus, but TAS will do that. And there's some other weird TAS things where, like, if you never get a certain cutscene, one of the pirates will just be invisible for no reason, and so he'll be invisible the whole game. So cutscenes, you'll just see him like carrying like the girls up the quarters too. They'll just be floating in the air. He won't be there. Yeah, right now on the stream you can see super swimming. It's like
That super swim is so good.
an interesting thing about it. As you're doing it, you're running out of air because Link can't swim. Like he's a bad swimmer, but you can actually go on land for a second and keep all your speed. Refill your air gauge, and then just build up basically infinite speed, much faster than...
That makes the super swim from Ocarina of Time look shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you swim. Link obviously took some swimming lessons in the years between the two games.
Yeah, and...
PLJs.
Yeah. That is the PLJ of swimming.
It is, absolutely. People really... I think a full game TS would be, like, absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, Dolphin can't use the Tingle Tuner, so there's some issues. Like, it can't do all the sequence breaks. So I'm not sure if that's ever going to get resolved or not, but people are definitely working on some TS stuff. I know Kurt Q worked on a lot of stuff. Like, he found out how to get up into the Forest of Fairies without a sword, but I don't think that's useful anymore. I'm not sure. But Annie was working on some stuff, because Annie did low percent, which is like hover for like 45 minutes to get from one island to the next without...
Annie, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, talk about low percent.
What
That'd
a
be great.
Low percent, like low percent. It's funny because like the TAS actually pretty much like does low percent for like the very beginning, because what low percent does, like, that's different from like any other run, is it goes and gets bombs early so we can skip other items by you have to do a huge a zombie hover from Windfall to Great Fish Isle so that you can get the instance where you can go onto the pirate ship and get bombs. And then, yeah, it does a whole bunch of really stupid zombie hovers, and you have to do like a bunch more wall clips in order to skip stuff. I don't really even know how to describe it without, like, it's been so long since I've done it. Like, you skip Boomerang, you skip,
You skipped the leaf, which is interesting, right?
No, I skipped
not
the
anymore?
leaf. No, not anymore. I skipped the leaf when I did low percent, but you don't do that anymore.
Okay,
You
the
skip
leaf's
double
invaluable.
magic and get a bottle in place, basically. And, yeah, that, is probably... when I was doing the very last segment, doing Ganon's Tower for low percent was like the worst day of my life. It's so bad, because back then you used to skip the Deku Leaf, so in places where you need to use the Deku Leaf, you need to do a zombie hover instead. And in Ganon's Tower, it has no map, so you can't use Tingle Tuner, so you have to find health to land on top of. And there's two places where you need it, and one of them was you needed to get a Bokoblin to slash at a pot, and it would drop a heart, and you would have to hope that the heart lands directly beneath you, like you would for Papa Ganon skip, which is one thing that is going to be added to low percent, unfortunately. And the next one is the Forest Trial, which is this big long room with like a huge gap. And you have to do a zombie hover, like, as high as you can. You have to get pretty close to the end. There's this one nut that has a heart in it. And as you're falling, you have to pull out your bow. You have to shoot the bow at the right height, and then you have to start hovering again, and then hope that A, you get there before the heart disappears, and B, that it lands right underneath you. So it was... I did not have fun that night.
Yeah, you
Low
did it
percent.
anyway,
Yeah, you eventually.
Yeah,
did it.
I did it
That's
anyway
nuts.
because we needed documentation. But it was an endeavor, and it was
Yeah,
really
you're
fun.
taking one for the
Yeah,
team.
taking one for the team.
Yeah, I might do another low percent sometime, but not
It was
anytime
the worst
soon.
day of my life. I might do it again.
All
Well
right.
done.
Yeah.
So I know Kirk Hughes been doing some stuff just because I've seen him posting about it, and him and Annie saying, "Hey, we should try this." Well, Annie saying, "Hey, you should try this." And I don't never know if Kirk actually does it or not, but it's not the point. So, and then barrier skip is Annie. I think
Oh,
you know,
barrier skip.
Yeah.
Okay. Abba Bob's been working every day on this.
That's what it says. Abba Bob tries to find barrier skip every day, still no luck.
That
Right.
was-
So, barrier skip. Let's explain the barrier for a second. This is the greatest barrier in any video game ever.
Hang on, let me go find the picture.
Yeah, please go find the picture. So the barrier is the barrier you break down with the fully charged Master Sword after you go back to Hyrule for the third time. And the thing about it is the barrier is ridiculously huge. It's so big that if you did frame perfect hovering as far back as you can, you'll hit the barrier. You'll go too far forward before you gain even nearly enough height to reach the top. And even if you reach the top, there's like a big damage thing that'll knock you back down. And like,
Wait, as
Like,
far back as you can? I'm picturing like 20 islands
Okay.
away from the barrier.
well, the barrier's in Hyrule, so you can't actually go back that far. Oh, the picture's in the chat. Please click that, everybody.
Yeah, he's linked it, so it should be up on the stream as well.
So, like, Link is like less than 1 pixel big in this picture. The barrier is
That's
the
pretty
not. The barrier is the red stuff, and the not barrier is the not red stuff. So that means yes, the barrier extends infinitely in all directions. There's 2 parts to the barrier: the invisible wall. The invisible wall does not extend infinitely, but the red part is the damage. If you're anywhere in the red, you take damage repeatedly until you die or whatever, and you keep getting pushed towards the center. There is one. Okay, there's a little sliver of hope that this might be possible somehow. If you pull the Wind Waker on the same frame that your damage and vulnerability like ends or whatever, you'll be like invincible to the barrier the damage part of the barrier, but you still can't get past the invisible wall. So if the invisible wall wasn't there, you could actually just walk right past it, basically. But because of this, people had ideas like, oh, what if we just did cancel the damage, then hovered all the way to the top over the invisible wall, and then went all the way and somehow landed perfectly in Ganon Castle's loading zone somehow. But sadly, you have to take damage from a bomb, which resets the damage. So the barrier would just knock you down again. So that doesn't work. There's one final thing that people tried to do was through a bunch of really complicated damage boosts and leaf pumps and stuff. You could get on the side of the railing, and then people wanted to use a bomb to Wind Waker dive underneath the barrier and then hover over to the loading zone. But I think again the damage part of the barrier is solid, so they just can't get over there. But I mean, somehow, someday, it might happen.
So you can't super swim through it either or anything like that?
Yeah, there's no water to do that.
There's not really any water you can swim in.
The water below is fake.
They really
Don't listen to that water.
They really
It's all
didn't want you to get in there early, did they?
Yeah, I mean, it could have been just a foot high and no one would have been able to get past it in casual gameplay, but they had to make it this big.
Just think, if you had just sandbagged when they had Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask out, instead of just crushing it, they wouldn't have programmed the barrier.
Oh, alright.
There's one more thing about the barrier, too.
Come on.
If there was a door in Hyrule, you could pull the Wind Waker on the same frame that the Forest Water expires, talk to the King of Red Lions, open the door and cancel the door opening, and then just walk through walls so you can walk all the way to Ganon's Castle. So that would work, but there's no door.
There's not even a door.
There's no door, so it's not going to happen.
Alright. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to employ pretty much Feasel, PJ, and myself. We're going to look through chat if there are chat questions. Make them sort of general about the run or about speedrunning. We probably can only ask a few because it's kind of late and there's a lot of people here this week. So if it's anything about the game that we've probably already covered, we won't answer it. The split. And yeah, if you guys just want to talk a bit about learning the game, this is pretty easy this week because it's a Zelda game and they're always quite, as a website. So yeah, Annie or Cosmo, if you got any little tips or how to learn the game, go for it.
Right, so ZeldaSpeedruns.com has a lot of stuff. I recommend checking it out. We are not, I guess, fully up to date on all the newest stuff that's happened in the last month or two. So for that kind of stuff, I would recommend just asking me or asking people in my chat, or just watching the run or watching a recorded run that I already did. And you can kind of see how things work. If you have questions, I can help you guys out. I know a lot of people are kind of interested in picking up the game, although I haven't seen anybody do full runs yet, except for the people that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Samurai Man has. So
right. So it would be cool if more people are interested.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I also would like to get some races going. The only person I've really raced is Samurai Man, but hopefully more people.
It must be kind of hard to get a bit race that long.
Yeah, it's very long, so you need a lot of time. Yeah, there's Master Sword or just one of the pearls.
Yeah, because the first pearl's an hour in, isn't it? An hour and a half. So.
So that'd be the place to start at least to get people interested.
Yeah, although I feel like the end of the game, there's kind of less cutscenes, and the beginning is more cutscene heavy. So some of the early game goals is more cutscene heavy, and that's kind of unfortunate.
Alright, so yeah, we're gonna have fun trying to pick out questions. So many flew by already, but this is one that PJ was clever enough to pick out a while ago, which is a question about when SRL is going to change. Will it essentially be the same website, or what's the plan there?
The plan is we want to get streams a little bit more featured, because right now, we looked at how many people are going to the site, and everyone's just idling on the streams page, and no one's looking at the rest of the site. So we're all right, let's just make the streams on the front page. That makes more sense. So now we're going to have a featured stream, a link to more streams, and we'll have a link to races that are going on, and you would be able to watch the race. Kind of like Minion's stream or race viewer thing that he already made.
Nice.
Kind of like took inspiration from that. Because a lot of people use that instead because it's nice to watch races using that. So shoutouts to Minion.
DND.net.
Yeah, and also we're
Is
gonna have
the,
like a lot more stats all over the site. The site's just gonna look a lot better. I don't know, it'll be just better.
Is the score system going to change for that too? Or-
Yes. If you guys have seen some really big races that have happened, you realize that the point
The
system,
85-man
right?
Ocarina of Time puzzle race.
Oh, that was the
springs
best.
to mind.
So
Like,
we thought the point system was like cool and it was good, and then as the races started getting bigger and bigger, we were like, wait, this doesn't look right. This doesn't make sense. And so after a lot of like talking about it and trying to get stuff to work, we've implemented a new system that seems a lot more fair, and that should be good. So that's going to be happening the moment the new site goes live. The new system will be in place. So all your old points are going bye-bye, and they'll be replaced with new points. But all the old races got recalculated.
oh man,
So
I worked
you'll
hard
have-
to get into the top 200.
All my points.
so
There goes Nest Kamikaze's #1 place on the site right now.
Yep.
Ugh.
His contribution to the world is being erased.
Number
Oh
193
wow!
is.
Holy crap! He's number 5. What happened?
I was
Yeah.
I was bad enough when my multi points, all my crossword points, got taken from me.
oh yes.
Oh man, that was sad. All right. Wait, what was?
More chat questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got about
Darkwing
100 of them.
What is Cosmo's plan for when he's finished with Wind Waker? Which I can also add into Anthony's question, which is, are you interested in running Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and/or Skyward Sword?
Okay, after I finish with Wind Waker, I can't see myself being finished, at least up until Awesome Games Done Quick. I don't know how heavily I'll be running it over the next few months. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely want to be in top shape for the marathon. And because like that's what I did last year. I just did a
It worked
ton
out
of
pretty
Ocarina of
well.
Time, and it was I was really happy with the run, and it brought in a lot of viewers and stuff. So I'd like to do it again with Wind Waker. That would be really cool. So it's hard for me to focus on like 2 games at once. So I'm kind of just focused on Wind Waker right now. But as we were teasing earlier, I might jump back into the Ocarina of Time fray at some point when things get ironed out all the way with all the new tricks, because some of those are really hard to learn, and there's like new setups being discovered all the time, like literally every day. So when those get optimized, that might be fun to go back into Ocarina of Time. I'm not sure though. I actually was going to pick up Majora's Mask with like everybody else, but I just picked up Wind Waker instead. I'm not really sure how that happened. But that's okay, because there's like other people doing Majora's Mask at the moment, and I don't know, I'm not that great at Majora's Mask currently, and I don't think I would be one of the best players of it. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it means ZFB
So-
is doing it, so you can watch it.
yeah, like there's Goron Guy and
Yeah.
him and stuff. So yeah, as far as Twilight Princess, that might happen someday. I don't know. I can't make any guarantees. I need to get the GameCube version of the game though, because the Wii version. Oh my god! And
that
Skyward
was-
Sword, I might pull a Samurai Man and just do some casual runs of Skyward Sword. or
Yeah,
something.
I
Try to
watched
lower
you play it
the
when it came out. I remember it was your second playthrough, Skyward Sword. You were playing hard mode or something like that, and people were like, "Why isn't he finished yet? It's been like
Yeah, yeah.
6
Yeah.
hours."
I
Alright.
remember that too.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it speedrun?
Yeah. Okay. So.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe some other Zelda game. Maybe something entirely different. That's hard to say. I know a lot of people wrote this already, and maybe people would be sad at me saying this, but I've thought about picking up Mario 64 and doing some runs of that as well. So
Okay. What about Wand of Gamelon?
I'll leave that to Tampa.
Okay, so we can't really answer any more questions. Last has a really awesome one, but Final Act wants to know when you started speedrunning and what game was it, and I'll ask Annie that too. Why not? So, when you started and what your first game was?
Annie, you want to go, or should I?
No, you can go.
Alright, so basically, this wasn't really even, I wouldn't call this like the same kind of speedrunning, but I got interested when I played GoldenEye and Perfect Dark way back in the day. basically just trying to unlock the cheats in the game, because some of those times are kind of hard to beat. Invincibility cheat, oh damn, 2 minutes, this is crazy. But then I found out people, how low can these times really go, right? And the Perfect Dark Elite and all that, I was just kind of like chilling out, seeing all that stuff happen. And I never really got too into it, but that's kind of where I kind of started. And then I kind of didn't really do much stuff until back when Kazooie originally broke Ocarina of Time. Kazooie and Akrite, when they found Shadow Early, Trial Skip, and all that stuff. That really interested me, because Ocarina of Time was one of my favorite games ever, and it was so crazy to see the stuff that was possible. And I was just like way into that. So in like 2007, I actually found out how to escape the forest in Ocarina of Time. I was the first person to figure that out. Of course, at the time it was worthless because Dora Time Skip wasn't possible, so you still needed the 3 stones. But that was kind of like my first real thing I contributed. And then I don't know, it seems like a lot of Zelda people were more interested in breaking the games than actually doing speedruns. That seemed to be a huge trend until even recently, where everyone would just be trying to find breaks and no one would do speedruns. So that's kind of what I was like for a while. And then we got it started, and I did Ocarina of Time runs, and now I'm picking up some other games, and it's been good times.
I can almost guarantee Annie's games are not going to be as good as Perfect Dark or GoldenEye, but go on, Annie.
No. My very first game that I actually started speedrunning was Wind Waker. I got
really?
Yeah.
That's not as good as those 2 games.
No, it's not, for sure. But yeah, I went on STA, and then I watched the run, and I didn't like TSA's run. And so I was like, I could probably beat this, and I never got around to actually beating it because I'm a bad speedrunner. But, yeah, so then from there, went on Hash Zelda, and then started racing, like, Ocarina of Time, like, when they first started doing impromptus. And then I kind of branched out into, like, really bad N64 games, and here I am, still playing really bad N64 games.
Finding your niche.
You're in that niche, you're in that little groove with a bunch of other guys, a depressingly large number of guys.
Yeah, the N64
It's
is great.
sadder to me that the clique of guys who play not just N64 games, but bad N64 games is bigger than the guys who run like PS1, PS2 classics. It depresses me. Alright, okay, so these answers are going to have to be short, but we wrote them down, so we're going to ask them. Zaspan wants to know, is there a way to predict Cyclone Warp?
No, I guess you could, like, with Dolphin, watch the memory or something, but that would be the only way, and I don't know. It's not happening.
And that accounts for a lot of randomness in the run, really.
That's the biggest single part of randomness. There's, like, minor things, but that's, like, the big thing.
Yeah.
Alright, Darkwing wants to know if you're thinking of submitting to SDA Wind Waker run at any point.
I want to get... I don't know what my final goal time is, because, like, I keep lowering it.
Yeah.
But
And it's
I've started,
a Zelda
I've started,
game, so...
yeah, I've started trying to record all my runs now, and although my capture card freezes sometimes and I lose the recording, that kind of sucks, but hopefully if I do get a really sick run and it's recorded and it's all nice, then I'll submit it.
Alright, and I think this is the last one. Oh no, hang on, there's two more. Alright, Breakdown wants to know what you thought of Miles' Monkey Ball run.
Oh, Miles' Monkey Ball run is probably one of the best speedruns I've ever seen in my entire life. I was really happy with my run, which was like some minutes slower, which is pretty crazy considering how short the game is. Basically, oh my god, the strats are like... I saw the run and I wanted to play the game again, and then I thought about how many resets it would take to like pull off the strat on like floor 9 or floor like I don't know, so many floors. Oh my god. So I don't know. I definitely recommend everyone to watch that. I was actually thinking of putting together a like most like best speedruns list of like my personal favorites, but I never did that. But that would definitely be one of the highest ones on there.
I was going to suggest one for you, but to put that on your best speedrun list seems a bit stupid if it's one of mine.
Yeah.
But Tony Hawk's 3 by George, which isn't even done, is my favourite speedrun ever. It's just ridiculous. Which would be a good
I haven't
segue,
even-
but we've got another question.
Right, exactly. Funny you should mention that.
It
What
would
a
be a
pin
good
is that?
segue. You should check it out on YouTube, Cosmo. It is retarded.
Alright, sure.
It's absolutely obscene. Anyway, final question. Here we go. Universal wants to know if you would consider getting a Jap version of Wind Waker. See how it works out.
Oh, like, that might happen sometime. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that or not. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. Like, I'm pretty used to my current run and my current strats, and I'd have to, like, change the beginning game rupee route and maybe avoid doing the Cabana Deed skip. And that would be a relief, but it would also be kind of sad, too, because it's, like, the craziest thing in the run. So, I don't...
Well, you know how to do it now, so you got to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of shout-outs and then wrap up and then next week and so on. So if you two guys want to do shout-outs, go for it now. Cosmo, I guess you can go first. Why not?
Shoutouts to everyone who watches my stream. Shoutouts to Mug for breaking a bunch of stuff. I guess shoutouts to Ababob and Glitches and stuff for also trying to find some stuff as well. Shoutouts to everyone who donated. I never expected. I put a donation goal of $3,184, which corresponds to the amount of rupees in the game that I need for Tingle, and it was kind of like a joke, but I'm actually like more than halfway there, which is unbelievable. I
Wow.
can't thank you guys enough. I really appreciate that.
You got a pretty dedicated audience,
Yeah.
so you're lucky.
But yeah, shoutouts to Mirrored for like making spreadsheets of all my runs with all the mistakes and exactly where I can save time. That is a lot of work,
Yeah.
and thanks a lot for that too.
Nez Kamikaze would like to apologize to Mirrored for accidentally banning you during the stream.
Twice.
Yes. It's okay.
He
He's
tried
not used.
unbanning him and accidentally banned him again.
He's not used. He's probably using an N64 controller instead of a mouse. So. All right, Annie. Any little things? Any dudes or dudettes?
I would say shoutouts to people who even like Wind Waker, like even before Cosmo started speedrunning it, because
Before
like,
it
now
was
it's
cool.
just blowing up. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that game
shout
got a
out-
lot of hate and not much love for a long time.
I had other shoutouts and then I forgot. Shoutouts to people who like really bad N64 games because we don't have enough people, even though the group is pretty big. And yeah, that's all I really got. I don't have like any.
You don't want to shout
specific-
out to Nez, who you've met in
Shout-
real life?
Oh, shout out to Ness Kamikaze. Like, he is super cool, and I would hang out with him all the time, and I'm really sad that we do not. So, yeah. And then shout outs to everybody at TSSB for doing the show, because it's actually really amazing. And yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
those are my shout.
Yeah,
That's
well,
nice.
you know, that's us. We did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're getting the love. All right. Just to wrap up, something we forgot to mention earlier. Nearly all the SGDQ videos are online in the
Yeah.
archive.
There's a link.
Post
There.
a link. Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
I think there it is.
Every run except Gears of War
I think
is
that's what he said, which I didn't even know was at the marathon. So, good
Yeah.
stuff there. Considering if you remember my segue from earlier about Tony Hawk's, you can throw it in here if you want. Next week is Tony Hawk's with George and hey, Nez Kamikaze too. Damn,
He's met Annie.
he's met Annie in real
In
life.
real life, yeah.
So check that out next week. George's Tony Hawk's 3 run is absolutely ridiculous, and all the Tony Hawk's runs are crazy. So we'll be going through 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even a bit of Underground in those, and we'll be able to play every single Tony Hawk's speed run from 1 to 3 during the show, and
And
have
the
plenty of
test.
time left over. So that'll be Nez Kamikaze and George. Check it out next week, same time, same place, as of course. After that,
We also have
Yeah.
episode 18.
Oh
Episode
my
18, the
good.
sequel.
Jesus, I didn't even notice that. I'm sorry. But after that, we have Portal, which, well, this isn't confirmed yet, but it's all but confirmed.
Plan would be Portal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Portal with Zimbabwe 9X, and if you ask if that's the PC version or not, you need to get out. Of course it's the PC version, what else would it be? And then after that, breaking our planned rule
Portal Wii.
Could you imagine that? That would be absolutely horrible. Alright, after that is Legend of Zelda, Breakdown and Darkwing Duck. So more
Well,
different Zeldas.
That's tentatively. I mean, that's
tentative,
for,
yeah.
Well, that's not solidified.
And we have a whole load of other ideas, so... yeah. Thanks, obviously, to Cosmo for bringing 1,000 viewers and doing the show. That's pretty nice of you.
Thank you guys for hosting.
Yeah, well, thanks also tweeting us every week. We do thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, I
Yes.
think I think the show is just really good, and oh man, the new records part is really cool, and learning about all these games is really cool, and I think this is just really good production value too. So I don't mind it at all.
Well, production
Appreciate the
value.
support.
Well, there we
Value.
go. It's Duckfist.
That's
Yeah.
Duckfist.
That's Duckfist. Every time someone like has a genuinely positive thing to say about the show, it's normally something Duckfist has done.
Yeah, just pass it along.
So yeah, that's Duckfist.
Yeah,
That's a good picture with Lane trapped in the wall like that.
I love that.
Yeah, dude, I took that today.
All right. Obviously, thanks Annie for coming on the show too. Glad to have you with us.
It was fun. I had to, yes. I had to unmute. I'm sorry.
Silence.
That's okay. And is that it? Was there anything else we need to do?
I think that's it.
Same as usual then, submit, if you know of any world records, please tell us, usual places. Follow if you haven't already.
Yeah, everyone should follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
If you're for some reason not following Cosmo and Andy already,
oh yeah, of course.
you should do that.
I mean, I imagine nearly all of you in here already watch
Yeah,
Cosmo stream on a regular
yeah.
basis, but
Yeah.
you should go watch Annie stream too. And if you see Annie streaming Wind Waker or learning it, give him some support. Go watch him.
Same goes for Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when's the Donkey Kong 64 episode?
Oh man.
April Fool's next. April 1st.
All of our background images are just going to be blackness with like a sprite floating in the corner.
We'll do that when Annie gets the 100 and whatever percent thing down.
101%. Yeah.
1%. When he's done that, we'll do the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
obviously-
also, I guess, yeah, TJP's got us covered here. Go
Yeah.
go follow everybody in the Team SDA and Team SRL pages because there's literally hundreds of amazing speedrunners that we can't
Yeah.
shout out
Then-
individually.
Obviously, SDA, us, we're doing this because we got loads of viewers this week, so we may as well check out SDA, check out SRL, check out TAS videos, all awesome websites, and just hang out on Twitch. You know, Twitch is a pretty cool place for games and
Yep.
speedruns. I think we're done. Go follow Duckfist too. Why not? Follow Duckfist.
Yeah, man.
Do it.
He's amazing.
Fiesel and PJ. Don't follow me. It's not worth it.
Ew.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I mean, we're done, so goodbye everybody. So long.
Play us away,
Goodbye.
Duckfist.
Play us away.
All right, play us out.
Play us
Thanks,
away.
everybody.